Edru say ya. Na ya kaye nua no mo a omo call the Accra Sports Stadium. After him to go to a moment in Yankofie. I'm saying 24 years exactly. May 9th year at the Accra Sports Stadium. Indeed happened in the year 2001. And the football stakeholders be shame. You know, because the commercial did that at the Accra Sports Stadium. There they are running some Abramo. And the Rajini Pusukra and today some bed to and some penny for could draw every PMO studio ha. Now I didn't come dear Cassiano Shaswo. Come on, dear Neno. On him saying the course of the week, near Bisa, most sports fans, football fans, they say, dear never Mama Stadium Bion. And then penny for betting Como, Alpha and Semi who, dear Nebetiama football fans, say what Ghana ha. Ever call a year gas near Kotoko matches here, ye Liberty matches here, MC Liberty here, now God matches, Oko United. Dear never sports fan, no. I two well 2 years or Stadium. I could share the Ghana Premier League, Ghana's Division 1 League. You can say Black Stars there, Nipa Kopa, Papa. Baka say Sunday, Beswo, no, be a call Lagos Sports Stadium or share Ghana Premier League. What called the Accra Sports Stadium or Ghana Premier League? What called the a year Baba Yaspo did that? Really? Because I met here.
1, 2, 1, 2. Eba.
But
oh, there be but me won yet. Still na me home for me, but penifo bu baby. Almost akwa osumnira ewe nimiem. Akwa osumnira ewe nimiem. Nti enimiem ana ye deti ha no.
Enimiem.
Oh yes, say akwa de we akwa na ura wa da 1 yem no frɛ wa so sorry.
Unim dabi.
Dabi. Odo ka so ura say oda. Dabi anam yare. Dabi.
Osoba.
Nti akwa osumnira ewe nimiem.
Ndi enimia pa na edeti
ampa. But sorry. So sorry ba.
Aye. Yeah, but still afro
because Oma.
Maybe 5:10. And the message soon. So say area also.
Oh, of course.
Area also. Yeah, but yeah, only message no say na how much no. You are 4, you are 3.
Oh, daddy. Timo daddy.
Doctor Timo, that's one no.
And on that.
You have here 3 message about say. No, una.
No, but my chia team Moti Kakari. Na min chia Benjamin Kofi. Na min chia Fafa. Okay. Fafa Beho. Yes, I mean chia no. Omo heavy pa. Omo mi ensa no. Ai. Omo heavy pa. Omo heavy o. Pa o. Oh, me nada o. Ohene. Anka nkro fo ija bo check akra. Inga wunya daje. 10 seconds crowd mamia because Papa Neti money Ben me heavy pa. But oh yes. Yes. And who kwa Kana? Yes. It's a amudwi nipa ho. Yes. Sometimes when you also sacrificing
for yes,
you don't yes, won't do actually.
You are second obebu no other.
Oh yes, but
to share omo.
Oh yes, what they did, yes, of course. Me have you. What if you can come to company in media?
Le meilleur, HappySports supérieur, HappySports exceptionnel, HappySports numéro
1. Okay. Because there's a part of telling Carlo.
Bogu.
When Friday, yeah, we say, yeah, na.
But I know so they make an answer.
But say be an say can mountain tiasie, but
we say Mbogo graduate team. The purpose of Mbogo is not for you to understand. It is to create an atmosphere for you to feel a relief. Yeah. It could be comic, it could be musical, it could be anything. Yeah. It is in literature. Mbogo literature.
Yeah. Say and I say by the first side, almost at here. But somebody enyum to and ashase.
And through the process no. If you are not obi da into Mbogo no e ba na nipa no e Kenya no sorry. And that is the purpose of Mbogo. In this job that we do, Mbogo critical because crucial. Mbogo.
Just confirm, sir, Prof.
Augustine Kwabena Ohene-Bampoe Brenya.
Asa okasa me nti o.
Miss Mentua.
But you have me.
Oh, and Mafi PG. PG make us say Asamaba. Augustine Kwabena Ohene-Bampoe Brenya. Udi na edesi.
Mimi di na obo na
Udi na edesi.
Now, why is he
And
always
I
hiding
drop
the
Augustine. Such a powerful name, Saint
Augustine.
Augustine.
Edin ye there. And now this you.
Augustine there.
So ni Niama. Niama Ashon Katai.
Ashon Katai.
Who ni bofu din.
Debut.
Also the safety te. Because again the Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat so e Bible din kese pa o.
But no your hini.
Niama Ashon Katai.
Debut Jehoshaphat.
Yes. E din kese pa ba. So offer you into the sea offer kwada we bia.
Unfa odin see.
Yeah, make Kenya say Obo Augustina. Boni bi fi se mi Bruni.
The
Obi an Jesu Bruni.
tuntum we.
Obi an Jesu Bruni.
Ento Ohene-Bampoe na fata mi tuntum.
Era me say. Masa. E din a papa no ma me de ma. E ba nje na wo you take it upon yourself. Abutre. Emra wo call prime minister GSS and guest ne board guest no omo budget so no say ndie na oje. I don't know why you did. Because
rhetorical.
Every rhetorical. I need an answer.
How to some question?
Enti emra girls Augustine. Augustine.
And that AC Pope na makai me Catholic days. I say mutop one. Catholic church where Saint Augustine.
Augustine, yes. Oh, that.
And you did dinner too.
For that dryer time now. Oh God, for that dryer.
That's the time for that dryer.
For that dryer now, yes, see.
First, father.
Na akwebi o ye juma ma no. Obi yeso ko painti na ko fruit up na ladder for that dryer akwebi ladder so green see form. Story say ti our for that dryer.
Only the before no. Over weekday no can na to suna oboni biye. He's
the most popular up to now. Yeah. Some of us never got to see him, but he didn't there. When I dry there, he didn't. Mickey Charles even sometimes mentions him. Yes.
And come say no true about Saint Augustine. Come a pope no.
For that dryer, they won't say my here for that dryer.
German father.
But according to Mickey Charles, he's still alive. He's still in Germany. Also German, yes.
Wow. Even in the early 90s and 2000s, he looked very frail. No,
oh, sir.
Yeah, that was a very old person.
Hey, I shall form with you. I shall form with your fambra. For that dryer. Oh, yes. For that dryer. No one's about here. I saw Kobo set up for no park, grass park. Yes. I saw Kobo lucky guessing in a. What?
It's for everyone.
For that dryer.
Because
solidarity is just behind it. Yes, Romano.
And then Madame Fubipa.
Oh, okay.
Mommy no support.
And no support.
Me background, I was trying to reach her, but just to get her to tune to 98.9.
But we can still cut it out.
We saw a council, but because one mommy wedding or by a young Calvin. So the whole wedding I'll be far council for now. So,
but I am innocent of.
Hey, how come members are
innocent of what you are
Ghana match? How come Ghana match?
My do Mike.
Okay. Mommy no support. Challenge the birthday, Madame Fupa na. Just oh yeah, University of Ghana political science na. Is here together near the adina. Madame Fupa. Na Nancy just our any money at the adinti unya kwan mame ana me yapa but when day but today is a day I just pray for God's blessings for him ni nyuma bia o ye bia onyankopon embie kwan so nkoma no o ma na hoden a edi apomudin pa eba na onyame ma ne nkwa tenten na said Psalm 103 e kan o see I will satisfy your mouth with good things so that your youth will be renewed like that of an eagle. onyankopon and satisfy the mouth with good things on this special day. Mommy, happy birthday, and today I'll call you after the show. You're trying come on so on the other side. Yes, it's a wonder. And then there's a classmate to Antoinette. He's far away in UK. Okay. Antoinette, Amuzun. So yeah, man, I would have. Now,
and conversation here. We have a 2-hour conversation on how to bring fans back to our venues.
Okay.
Praise and worship, and foreign, a bit too. In 1 hour. We are not expecting a trust.
Very important. Very important.
It means that I am coming now. Say in the
now, some part to me know as him.
All right, yeah, quiet. Because come now.
In your media, I always say that
Timeless.
Timeless. Especially the women tanche. Yes, but in your media, to be sincere, it is one of the timeless gospel songs. Wow, Tiana, I want to say I then a good. And me kai pampa began 2000 man President Kufuor at the campaign. Yes, a very emotional song. And only Neo Kane Mukubeno. Yes, very timeless songs. My favorite scripture, I say, Psalm 30 verse 5. I say, weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. But joy didn't come in the morning, Ohene. 2001, and I May 9th, soon. Just this year. And so, Bill, our stadium. So, when would the joy come in the morning? When would the joy come? When would things change? You see, interestingly, May 9th, not any about 2 sections of the fans fighting. And there has never, ever been a period I has a lot of fans akoda. From time I'm starting to make share ball. Me in stadium, who da? Say how supporters, any supporters, omo koda. In fact, just this last Sunday, I was at the stadium with you. After the game, VIP asi hono, left side, Eko bi ahatabani hono. Na fans too no, oma bonchenku, anomosi jamabum. It was such a beautiful sight. 2 fans, set of fans.
In fact, Paul a picture be who ye ne security power. One of the games no address ko flag has ni a giant omo DM car almost jama picture no photograph and capture that scene.
Wow.
Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful scene.
So Sunday me share 2 sets of fans yi. No maka boom. No mo nyakuta flags. No mo si jama boom e go round. Such a beautiful sight. Please for no money you be on that day. We love ourselves. But yeah, etadi ban set of fans against match officials. Hooliganism ne pa no Ohene. A set of fans against match officials. So on the main night, for instance, it was a set of fans against the match officials on the day.
Yeah.
For what they thought was an offside for Ismaelado's second goal. But after, okay, I don't want us to go into the details because I know it may be. And me assure some yes, I know. By this time, no. Police for no, the fans who were throwing their chairs and all of that, and how things were managed at the stadium. But I was here fans, you see, Biakra every more.
Yeah.
AC and you knew who there. But in some way, we are still doing and even doing worse. In Tinder, you go so tunes, you go so to two chairs. You go so amongst us, some of the fans, they fight me. I made reference to Hearts and Kotoko. But the other clubs, we to trouble no more.
Yeah.
Inti, you say, may not be any sans to see Bumana. There be. You see, and I feel that Ebi and Kabebia Yabe Dui, it can be some lessons from it. But in some lessons, be from these kind of things are easy. In there, I had the 24th anniversary, right?
Yeah.
24th anniversary,
Yeah.
I hope that we'll take lessons from this. In there, Emre ho, inti mami ni teo. In there, she main knife no. Yen she ebusiafo nyina Yako. Mika Emma mo shedding. One person, Hilary Boateng.
Yeah.
She was when they call it close shave, no. Close shave. In fact, she was there. Any Yenipa Gary Lineker. Yes, Lineker. I think it was Lineker who saved Hillary on the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Inka Yami Hunu Krama. Yes, so we are hoping that families now are more country going on. Sure. Among Mano, everyone will jamba with Chilenia. Chapter 4 no.
They lost a lot of members.
They lost a lot of members. We are hoping that the families will be consoled. Now, that's your honey.
Okay. Prof. Brimna,
okay. So, Ohene, getting the fans back to the stadium, I think I will just make that point and go. Okay. So 3 weeks ago, I was on another show, and 13-year-old boy be free. Or see, Arsenal fan.
13-year-old boy.
Yes. Okay. Now, omo bisa and say, na local team here then. I see on the local club no support you be a.
Onimo be akra no support.
Onimo be akra, onim team be no support. Then it struck me. So this week, whilst the conversation about has match attendance and corona, I just said today, if I come, I would really discuss it. See, Ohene, Sesia, your game no, it's not has kotoko match. Your local game no. Yenny, I can confidently say, yenny last generation. Yankee ya.
True.
Yeah, Yankee ya. Yenny last generation. You kuta local football. Joel, generation be cry. You can't move a crazy. So, share generation no pa. I can't know. Yay, and I hold the Premier League this year. Nase clubs, no, any Ghana Football Association and take steps. Our local game will die forever. And I'm not a prophet of doom. Because that 13-year-old boy now, fresh show now, or so I Arsenal fan. There's a reason why 13 years or Arsenal fan. And there's a reason why or see local team only Obia. And there need to be urgent steps to save the local game. Otherwise, the local game is on the brink of going into oblivion. Say Yankia, say what share Brakoju Adaimen's and generation and going back. The way they loved their kotoko, the way they loved their hearts, and then they passing it on to probably the the likes of us, any adeno, and we taking on the local game and loving the local game now. Sesia akwako bane say the intrusion of television has changed the face of the love for local football. Sesia ababe do say young people no at least in maybe young funny say from about from 2002 going, it will be very, 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 very difficult. Say say, look, some of them should support this our local clubs. Now, what is the FA together with the local clubs doing to catch these people? One of the things, and I'll give a very simple example. One of the things are a club like Chelsea, and they say one of the steps they took, and they say, especially nursing mothers, say mo fa mo kora nemba, ya ye daycare center bia and korano. Yebe jiomu, yebe penkofa, be shenkola na mam. Na mo sumu itimi ahwe mo ball. Look, these babies now, perhaps since they took that steps, these babies, so they will give them Chelsea paraphernalia and all those things. They have grown a new set of fans. So, what are local clubs doing? And consistently, proposals be Ababa, say Asante Kotoko, in and its catchment environment around Kumasi, simple thing. Exercise
Greater Kumasi.
Exercise books with the pictures of your players. Chama primary and GHS.
We fit into our main topic.
Yeah, so
I want you to hold your horses.
So let me hold it.
We will get into that conversation properly and find out to attract not just the older generation, but new generation of fans.
Because there's literally no plan or no attempt to try and be. That 13-year-old boy in the next 10 years, he's 23. He will have purchasing power.
Yeah.
And Onya that
that 13-year-old, as a give him 20 years. Obey 33 years, right?
Yeah.
33 years, no.
If you are not
in the background,
but
if it's from an affluent absolutely.
His aim is to
obey marketing manager. We a GPL club, we a expensive quite own few.
And
say Nakuma no any local.
Of course,
and
Unim,
the aim will be one day to go and watch a national game.
I don't know 23 over any plan.
So and eventually tourism no. He's selling it to another club.
Of course.
Another country. Tourism no. Cash no.
Cash is ko.
Okoi, obe ticket. Obe
hotel.
Obe di. Obe to ade.
Obe kakra.
Yes. Ni nyina no expenditure no. Scan no. And oyi capital.
Obi manso.
Kobi manso.
He or game of Ghana, he won't even spend a quarter of that month.
No, not at all.
In watching a game in Ghana, but
no. And so it's a very serious matter. Yeah. My
you are discussing be 1 month. Because you not motivate cry no. They don't know our clubs, but they know. See, me baba. I can mention also support Arsenal. With my boss Saka, with my boss Martinelli, with my boss Obao. But Ghana clubs nim clubs nim pon no ka talk about players needing.
Yeah.
So it is something that we really have to deal with. We really have to deal with.
It's a very serious matter. Yes, shrimping for say. They should not only blame the clubs. Say the clubs are not marketing their.
For the initial fee, muna yemen ko. Enti my info when you tatana do and family nsem no embre. No president what should be an ordinary power, but yemen.
All right, so here some na yɛn fa man nsɛm yɛn fa ento matie for ehu area koso ɛwa man ne wabra Arsenal for esu etwe jadwo no United NJ abafie Sanso and a Tottenham Hotspurs Ensu Enigiaba. And for the first time in 6 years, yes, signed an all-European and as English final in the Europa League. The last time AC Sano Chelsea Arsenal and Aniomo Ekano 9 in the finals of the Europa League and Tumi and the Antimu Adabraka. And there was also no about the two and who air their echo and the other. And so now it's a Mason Mount and so Atadwe or today are on also the Honsam Eba. Now, Mesha say the Europa Air Conference League, and whole results are Ebanum. Anthony, Abrantano, Air Boa, or Bono, and Yagro. Now, Unim said, Anthony, Obetumi Enya 2 medals. Sir Robert Tis, edgy the UEFA Conference League, and a Manchester United, and so edgy Europa League now. Abrantano, he's entitled to both medals because group stages, about 4 games at the Manchester United or what. And until Sir United, Ewenia, Obenya medal, and a fee, a year, Sir Robert Tis, so Nyame Bomo. No mu to me a set Chelsea a better than dear, but omu to me ya on also obenya air 2 medals or ha made a home step air 2 then Chelsea game and also our Stanford Bridge when him say omudi kan ekose air jog air garden e kanu 9 omuti mu bako e wa way intendra abrante e fan air Drisbury Hall ni go a say no eno na only go or the boy e Chelsea e win game no eno nti e 5-1 on aggregate and Chelsea to me at the qualifier to the finals of the UEFA Air Conference League almost so me to me aya because them say in the last 10 years Chelsea at the Champions League, Chelsea at the Europa League and I feel almost so the Conference League number 2 and you could be sir captain IFN Rich James say qualifying to the final no at the say himself no where the kind about Champions League final that nemo Conference League final no so at the same
amazing feeling, playing in Europe is, where the clubs belongs, and we're happy to be in another final, and hopefully we can, finish off. Amazing academy, producing amazing players. Reggie Watson, Reggie Walsh actually.
Yeah.
Amazing. No, it's an amazing feeling, playing in Europe is, where the clubs belongs, and we're happy to be in another final, and hopefully we can, finish off well. Yeah, no, the atmosphere was electric. Their fans are great. Our fans was, amazing as well, and hopefully they can continue that, for the last few games.
And then some Rich James said it too. And I said, a Conference League, academy players, omo etumi perform power say obi to say George a champion and I say Tariq George mo and Mantia no omo bon modern pa na wo academic graduates are pass it through the ranks how happy are you to see say other academy boys and so enya opportunity?
Amazing academy, producing amazing players. Reggie Watson, Reggie Walsh actually.
Yeah.
Amazing. I was surprised. I've never seen him play before. I've trained with him many times, but he was phenomenal today. I spoke to him a bit before the game and throughout the game. I tried to help him. I just said, do what you do. Play as if you're playing youth level, and you'll enjoy.
We Chelsea captain Rich James in somebody too Enzo Maresca and so and a coach Edema Chelsea and also Chelsea season way wa kwaya na or qualify we no ninsama or the two any.
Yeah, very important for me, but especially for the club, for the fans. It's European competition, it's final. Now we are there and we're gonna try to win this time.
Any Enzo Maresca and some of the two and Sabi say I will prepare for a second leg, after getting a huge victory away, preparation, echo saying.
Yeah, it's the first leg result has been very important because give us the chance to prepare the game, thinking about also, manage players. Tonight, you see, we finished the game with, Reggie 08, Genesis 07, Shimi 07, Josh and Tai 06. It's almost second team, so and we manage a little bit of team.
Enzo Maresca. Now our academy players are omo born because it drew the 60th minute, Now say the Chelsea players, bear a year on watch. No academy players are almost AC Akano. Now the two say academy players, a year so bear than Obama Macunya. Nemo equo or expected players, so me to me improve.
No, it's that kind of player that is perfect for our style, the way we want to play. It's good on the ball. It's intelligent, it's clever, he knows exactly how to move. So it's very good for the academy. And now he has to continue to, study, improve, grow, and then we see.
As well.
Yeah, absolutely. For him, especially because he can be a better player every day. But even for us, because we can use him in different positions. Josh is very good also because he's very intelligent. It's humble. It's polite. Work hard. So it's good for the young players.
And in some Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca editu John every Conference League na yam bonra a year the Europa League no Indra Manchester United etumra 7-1 on aggregate and Manchester United etumi a qualifier Bilbao and edi kan eto atene edi kan Abranta from Mikel and eto atene na Man United ebetiti ye Euro eto atene Casemiro Enzo Ebogoa and afei Mason Mount omode ni be mo second half no 20 minutes Abranta no ebebo 2 goals na Man United fans omani aji pa na Ruben Amorim and ebisa say well first time I will qualify for a major final in Europe and also feeling no at say
it's the least we can do for these fans for all the support that they gave us in this tough season, but I'm stressed already because of the final, because if you don't win it in the end it's nothing, so we are happy to be there. Let's see it.
Enzo Ruben Amorim ne nsɛm a ɔde to adwane na ɛwɔ Mason Mount ne performance no ɔpani no ɛbɔ n'aba so sɛ aberanteɛ no injuries ɛdi ne nya paa na mo hard work a Mason Mount ɛde hyɛ ne dwumadie no sɛ ɔba na ɔnya performance saa na wo coach no w'ani gyema no.
First of all is the energy. I feel that some players like Nus, we can rest Mazraoui, but you feel it, he has no energy in this moment. Then Ahmad give us that spark that you need to change games, and that helps us a lot because we can change with Garner. Sometimes we let Garner there because he's the only one can stretch the game. Mason Mount, I'm so happy for Mason Mount. He's such a player. He works really hard. He has quality. I really like Kobe Maino. Just 10 minutes, but everything he did was really good. So sometimes you are on the bench and you change the game.
And in summer, Ruben Amorim editu John Mason Mount and so editu just say 20 minutes at Enra or boy against Athletic Air Club de Bilbao no kwa say the best 20 minutes of his career at Manchester United so far because Oba United no or chomu say wa breye pa nemo 20 minutes obeboy wenya goals ni bi ahye no ni agi ye pa no or the United fans no so ase.
Yeah, for sure. It's been difficult, obviously, since I've been here, and I've had the injuries and the setbacks. But it's always stay positive, and I knew something good was going to come, and I carried on going, and obviously tonight it's paid off in the semi-final. So no, it was a brilliant performance from all the lads over the 2 legs. We knew it was going to be difficult at the beginning of the game. They were going to come and attack us. We kind of weathered the storm, and then obviously getting that first goal to make it 1-1 kind of calmed us down a little bit.
And one in summer Mason Mount at the 2 dry. No more yes besano say enre auto ntinano mienu and also na unya kwenya ewo box numa na go and that one is one.
Yeah, it was too long. But as I said, I carried on going, working hard in training every day, and tried to stay positive. And when I had the opportunity like this to come on in the games, just trying to make an impact, and today, as I said, it paid off. Just tried to come on and affect the game. It was a tight game when I come on along with the other subs, so just trying to come on and calm the game down and have an impact.
Do it.
And in summer Mason Mount at the 2 dry. And I want some Man United legend Baku Ironra or PM Old Trafford Nani. Yes, Nani dear Bono or Bobby our Premier League Numupa Yabani Europa or bought Champions League final 3 times 2008, 2009 and a 2011 and a winning Baku. And Nani so adding some 2 dry say good to be back at Old Trafford. Now Osansu HM say Ebaba Bakwa a brand no with the or 11 years and on also share them but ne bano ne dia so an say obesi akan ediama Manchester United.
It's always nice to come back here. It was special for me to come back. Was 2 years ago, I think so. And it was special because we won that game, and I was here with my son. He had a great experience as well. So he loves Man United. He dreamed that one day he can play for Man United. So
how old is he?
He's 11.
Has he got your skills?
People say he looks like me, but I want to keep the expectation pretty low. So let's see what's.
ɛne nsɛm a na ne ɛde to dwa ɛhɔ ne mpanimfoɔ bisa ne sɛ Man United coach asisi ano ɔto a ɔbɔ dwuma Ruben Amorim o former teammate ɔno nso nsɛm ɛna wɔka afa ne dwumadi a ɔdi no ɛna ɔkyerɛm sɛ ɔno ɔhope sɛ Ruben Amorim bɛ successful at Man United na mo ɔpɛni no ohia mmerɛ na ɔde ayɛ adwuma.
A lot. I trust in Ruben. I believe he will do well for Man United. He needs time. I think everyone could see already he got potential, but it's not easy to arrive here and then do it well straight away because we know there is a team to build. There is an idea of the game he wants his team to play. But I believe he's going to have success. He got players. He needs to bring probably some new players to make the team strong. But yeah, I'm confident on him. We have some good Portuguese players here already. So Bruno is doing well as well, Dalot. So I trust on the players who we got already. Obviously, in the few years, we will be back on what everyone is used to.
ɛno ɛne nsɛm a nane ɛnso ɛde to dwa na the other semi-final game course no Bodo Glimt ɛnso ɛtena afe Tottenham Hotspurs ekotwa no ɛka no mienu a wentumi anti Dominic Solanke ɛna abrante ɛfɛ Pedro Porro ɛna nya sa 2 goals no ɛde ma Tottenham Hotspurs ɛwɔ nti sia no Tottenham ɛnso a qualify 5-1 on aggregator ɛno coach Ange Postecoglou SCM fan to just say the experience to qualify to the finals of the Europa League a great experience.
It's why you kind of do what we do as much as anything else. You understand the context of, what this football club has been trying to achieve for quite a while. And, managers come and go, players come and go, but the one constant is the supporters, and it was 400 odd tonight, maybe a few more snuck in. But, it was just great to see the smiles on their faces, and I'm sure back home similarly for thousands. And, we've given them some hope, something to dream about, an exciting trip coming up and a great experience. And who knows, hopefully, we can do something special.
Inti eno ene nsama Tottenham manager Ange Postecoglou enso edito dwantam ne nsam no esi wa ha if you says isi ano Okoland na West Ham European trophy Chelsea de omo bebre eno nti se Tottenham enso ebeje de ana say Arsenal for omaso beye sheet papa because isi ano Asempa Kele Ohene-Bampoe Brenya omina no omonan esi form se na beya Tottenham enso embenya bi na ombeye omudede
Tottenham be winning kama. Na I nkrofo bi ya. E wo kroma se.
Oh dear no, United against na obo.
But of course, as a Liverpool fan, you don't expect me to support United.
United no to me that for sometimes at nominal boost for sege reasons. To me so I say Champions League na United person mo bono enye sa ko meje mu ama say
na chese
Europa League obi ayaje Champions League miensa
Europa League
Europa League
we are sorry call na anytime sorry call we are call bye bye that's say obeju well, briefly on foreign games, they also and they because weekend. Briefly, yeah, touching it.
Let me set a record. That because of Arsenal lost Nintina, Mamba, Ejima.
I want for saying
yes, that means that you don't know me.
No.
If you know me, you know that yesterday, that team, they could face something worse than Arsenal losing. So if there's something that to make me not come to work, Arsenal lost. But you can ask.
Because Arsenal fans, yeah.
That's a more patience here will be.
Not just patience, you team,
of course.
You know the quality near the coach,
Because even before on Tuesday, when they said with the Tuesday, I was with you here for a long time. You know that I was not too well. That evening, Mickey Charles, Alaji Grusa, also this other person, George Free. You could share baby and I don't know, here, Intermatch, so you know where we met.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, Intermatch, together, and the work I test that I was not very well at all. You see, me, I'm proud of the Arsenal team. This is an Arsenal team proud to attend a quality about to get me crown qualify. So, for him to bring Arsenal to this level, Arsenal winning Champions League now, yeah. In fact, Indra, I was saying that in the first 8 minutes, Arsenal could have been up by 3-0. First 8 minutes. First, Declan Rice header no. The free header now headed for a pole in China. The second one was Partey throwing now. Everton Martinelli Nima on the left the boy yeah. Donnarumma corner no. I don't know if you remember that one. That one should have been a goal. And the third one was. And the third no, I'm giving instances where on any day that could have been 3-0 in the first 8 minutes. All the guys shot no boy and Donnarumma here and say here no. All happened. On say here, one more treatment 2-3 minutes. I didn't watch the game. That was that Odegaard shot, you know. That was on the 8th minute. All these three things happened in the first 8 minutes of the game. So
then after that,
Saka also played a shot. Or Kelly shot upon Ashevia go Roma a year. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. So people should not create the impression as if say Arsenal didn't play anything at all and they didn't even deserve anything at all from that game. In fact, with Partey's inclusion, Arsenal played better against PSG. I said Arsenal boss here at home. I said we wouldn't have lost the game. So we go again. In Yankee we need but that's not the end of the world. That's if you know football. Jogging club 9 years, so we need one Champions League, one Premier League trophy. I think that is in his 5th year. So what has he achieved? What has he achieved? When we were coaching team 9 years, when you have Premier League trophy, one Champions League trophy. We have 5 years. What are you talking about? You are creating an impression as if your club is a Pep Guardiola. Has he won trophies? Is he in the category of Pep Guardiola? What tracked him 9 years? One Premier League in 9 years. We want someone to win it 1 year. It's not in there. I'm saying that the way he's speaking about club, he shouldn't even use club as the standard or the example. If you want to make that example, it should be Pep or a certified guest in me. Not young club. So if you want to judge Arteta, give him the next 4 years to see whether he can win one Premier League trophy and one Champions League. Then we can compare, then we can do that argument. But to bet now 9 years, we need. Are
you done on that? Are you done on that matter? Are you done? Wait.
I'm saying that to make a proper analysis. Okay, so let's make a proper analysis. No. Okay, so let's make a proper analysis. Let's take
in his first 4 years. Remember, in Klopp's first 4 years, he had gone to a Europa final. He had gone to Carling Cup final. The first season, on one starting summer, or the season now by October 2015. The next, he was in the Champions League final. Now got Champions League final, now Real Madrid shower. Then he was asked when he was going to win the league. He said in 4 seasons. In 4 seasons, boy did he did it. He won the league. Went to a back-to-back.
He won the league in 2020, not 2019. So that'll be 5 years. That will not be 4 years.
But I tell you, 5 years. 5 years.
No. What did they won the FA Cup in the first season? I did won the FA Cup in the first season. Everyone forgot it. I'm saying that. No.
Odi Premier League ever compare FA Cup. What the Champions League Bible compare?
I'm saying that he has not won trophyless. He's won the FA Cup in his. Which is not 5 years. He's not up to 5-6 years. What are you talking about? This is about that. Asempa. Which man did Arteta join Arsenal?
Asempa.
Which man did he join Arsenal?
Asempa. The point is that Klopp Asem na odi aba.
Una use Klopp. And I'm saying that. I said Klopp 9 years or we need one Premier League trophy. Is it true? Is it true or not?
But it was not in 9 years. It was not in 9 years.
So in the 9 years,
first 5 seasons, he won the Premier League. He went to a Champions League final. Went to two back-to-back. In fact, in his period, he went to 3 Champions League finals and lost 2 against what do you call it? And lost 2 against Real Madrid.
Okay.
I said, man, I will come. Ateta no final who semi final who see em board abaso
98.9
what Ateta who see em board abaso semi final
Prof Nyabotre.
Champions League
How many years
final
how many years this club simple question, how many years the club spent at Liverpool? Simple questions. How many Premier League titles did he win?
One.
How many years did he spend at Liverpool?
9.
Yeah, 9.
How many Champions League did he win?
But at the end of the day,
Ateta, we can do a proper analysis.
But the period that he won the Champions League. But the period
makes that argument.
Who makes that argument? The period that he won the Champions League.
Medu Max. Even hold on, Medu Max. Even the 6 years no can no correct because Ateta signed for after December 2019. Yes, 6 seasons. December 2019. Yes, 6. Yeah. How is it 5.5? How is it 5.5? Okay.
Happy FM 98.9.
Ebina Ateta babida.
Okay. All right. Yeah, toss and omowie, yeah, toss na. Andra, I mean, shadow say annihilate the as a member of
cataclysmic.
Charlie, today be my lucky day. I just download the Betika app for Google Play Store. Where I do some small deposits. No, boom! Betika dash me 100% free bet. 3 day beeper. So me, I place my bets sharp. I no go door. As in, so make you no slack. Download the Betika app now and grab your free bet. Remember, terms and conditions apply.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below age 18. Gaming can be addictive.
When I dey home and want something quick to chop, everything dey inside. Groundnut milk and sugar. I only need some water. So kiss made easy. Kivo carry make Kivo carry for your office. Boarding house. Kivo carry everything dey inside. Groundnut milk and sugar. I only
Kivo 4-in-1 Gary Mix. Soakings are easy. This advert is FDA approved.
You just got added to the GoTV Best Football Friends chat group. Let's go! Final. It's finals time and all the biggest players are in it to win it. Catch every Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Champions League, FA Cup, Europa League, Conference League. To cut the long ones not short, you know who'll be there for you when you need to watch the finals. Stay connected to catch all the biggest football finals with your best football friend, GoTV. Love it.
Papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Polytank is everywhere, durable and authentic. Stronger brand you can trust. Polytank, we get sumo, Rambo, and get sumo super. And the Polytank, we did. Polytank, papa no no, 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 Ankasa. Always the best.
Happy FM Sala Fest 2025 nam kwasu bo. Simpiena ya crowd. Akensi no fe dikan ye kuoku dikan na ye ready. Kwa bayi na be boy nzongo aduane depa. No menya kwanya ejina mo zongo community. Metre Fadama Zongo, Tuba Zongo, and the Sabon Zongo. Beka ye ho, mebus me de to sudun so metre. 17th May walk Kaswa, Old Market Lorry Park. Anopanon kuno pepe. Ye becha chadi ahodua free and sponsors. Test it on the fright home. O asembi sebia Freya was 0244 143 994. Happy FM Nimdie, Happy FM, and Nichion Kwa.
etoda wo kontimi do champagne pa nanso wo sike kura wo no na ye juice ene betumi ato so so pese wo kura mre kura sika na udwumadi a wudie wonum a wonim dwumadie no etimi dima wo e wo bra wode emfidie a esefata edi dwuma ne dia ene ha ho kura Isanze E-Productions, ya best sort you out. Frey, so open studio and production equipment rental. Infidia, ya di trust ya hodu nyinano. Ya betimi dibia femo. Corporate and social videography. Se we do jumabie, a opese o twen egun humaso. Frey, TV commercials. Se wo ton wo niema na pese amanfo ehunu e wa kasamfoni so. Frey, documentaries. Frey, photography. Any live streaming. Se wo twan foni kama pa. Anaze wo di jumabie na pese brekro no mu a. Obi biara etimi hunu. Frey. Why nyom na pese oye nyom no ho akasamfoni a frey jingle IVR any voice over production frey short and long film frey yetete phone humanie 0242 755 323 ana 0302 254 858 ana se hwe kira kwan ye wo Asylum Down ye ben Happy 98.9 FM E-Productions capture the moment.
Happy Sports, le meilleur. Happy Sports, supérieur. Happy Sports, exceptionnel. Happy Sports, numéro 1.
All right, yeah, to Jumedi so na menya asempa menya a message from CEO of Data Bank Kujua Diamonds. Asempa, with all due respect, don't compare Ateta to club. I beg you, you have done a very good analysis, but this one dear. I beg you stop.
Yeah,
hold on.
Analysis, Ben.
Only say CEO will be a me fair
Yeah.
But also with all due respect, CEO should wait till the next 4 years for him to bring this message.
Absolutely bogus.
No, but
it's so bogus that I can't even appreciate. But I think I know.
You can't compare 5 years to 9 years.
Debbie, what is the probability? Say,
you
want 13 years.
Obey na years.
By
next season, one Jixi and Mama Mobe
Pamono. Show sense of winning a trophy because that 5 years, you know.
We win a fan.
Every ni back 5 years, one fan.
We win committee shield. 2. What say City back to back committee shield.
Prince ne Asempa, you are all out of order. A message in the Bible and became out. Sorry. But
now me and Casper say beji Europe and one say me
many times.
Sir.
Me nipa ma stadium me many abra house space.
Nipa
go come stadium.
I feel Casper je na. Mo go fa megaphone na e da ho no. No ban kwa se o fa ko. No
weekend sports. Enti e be ka no ye the whole 2-3 hours ni nyina.
I can't believe that you are supposed to be fair. You are supposed to be objective.
He cannot be fair. He can.
Today I'm not fair. Today I'm very emotional.
I know.
Yes.
You know what to discuss.
Today I'm very emotional. So
we hear you.
All right, but and then enko ka say be die so ama enipa supporters akọ ye match venues. Ye can say ye come on dia ye ni abra ye de nyina no enfe ska entu ebotom. Enfa enije papa bia ma ye krom ha. Na de me ho ye pa ne say ye Barcelona ene ye Inter Milan abo awie na ye mantemu abia menimu na boys di jama momume no omusi jama sam da be na boy local league say ya na nipa aye say ye ni nyina ya de a o say ye ensua ehunu efri say ye football no etumpo na ekoyi a e will trickle down effect on the value chain. Me first travel outside Ghana Ghana football and my two kwai me koye me nyakakra etumbotum ba fie enti ewo opportunities be brema ye nyina ene United ye kai ka no kwa enije ekene ma ye efiske bia mre ye enti I say di honkomo nye pe kwan ye be fa so ama ye sports ni football no etu empon na ye can say ye na May 9th enti ne commemorative service because so all that car sports stadium but May 9th fa ni ba ko for 24 years ni wakawasem aye hu event be bring na no aye Mr. Herbert Mensah Prince Obi
anka mesrewu ansa na ye be ko ho no breaking news bi aba elections na osuma reporters ma e ko ya national security for be to 2 nneɛma gu yɛ no aba so ɔmayɛ no anɔpɛ ya ama Jerry Ahmed Shaibu ɔma re-elected no as the president edema Ghana
ɔmayɛ zoom and ɔmayɛ in person
ɔmayɛ ni zoom ɔmayɛ ni zoom awie
ɔmayɛ in person
anka bɛsa national ɛbɛsa akɔ bi wenti no ɔmayɛ zoom ama ɛyɛ Ahmed Honorable Ahmed ɛyɛ Shaibu re-elected as president. Shaib. Yes, Shaib. Yes, Shaib. And any re-elected or no, and Ghana weightlifting president. And senior reporter and the by Ura Charles or SCB barrister.
But it me election Zoom, sir. So okay, OGOC cry it to about 2 years.
And I say, what say, was probably constituted, yeah. Congress a year delegate in Nana Bayana.
Absolutely.
We say association and association
and they can define their own model for elections and all. But okay.
Is that no man in person?
Oh, in now who in person the person.
Now Ohene Unikroma.
And now life I start being no.
Omo ye dem koye in person.
Ade omo ye se omo koye de esi ho no. Owura eye Jerry Ahmed emrika otu se da.
There is Oshia didn't ever that point. That's just to can say you no yes I say bi wa.
Obesa boys no besa ba. Enti omo ye no zoom ameni ono.
But same way there na one person be because so when we this NDC and PP matter.
Okay, you have more details on this while the show goes on in terms of Nipa do 2 years, the other executives or more elect you. We'll give you a full detail on that. But Yenko Tie Ura Herbert Mensah, or your president Emma African Rugby, or you know your CEO at the Marco to the time event no year. Now a Fibiano or your event on May 9th. Yenko Tie na. I mean shadow so Abekayensa or your general manager at the Mad Dreams FC, as a team manager at the Black Stars of Ghana. No war event, I say. And they may not for a year, so we are cast procedure. Oh boy, I'm here, the course, but Herbert Mensah.
You're absolutely right. 24 years since May 9th occurred is a long time. I hadn't actually realized that it was that long. It's something that you live. The best way I can answer that is that if you say it has had an impact on different people, I get it. If you say that some people have fallen out of love with football, I find that sad, but if you were closely involved, then I also do understand. If we now say what is the impact on people's lives, massive. On a personal note, the impact on my life is immeasurable. It comes not just from the incident itself, the terrible occurrence itself, the imagery of which I've spoken about on so many occasions. The evening, the rainfall, the smell of tear gas, the look of anguish on the face of many, the confusion, the smell of anger, horror, fear, and annoyance. The emotions are just too many. The touch and feel of bodies alive, the touch and feel of bodies no more. The impact for me and for those very close to me is lasting, which is why people ask, why do you continue to support this cause? It is so that people do not forget, and the fact that it's now transcended football into other areas of life is an indication to me of what needs to be done and the impact that it's had. We cannot bring back the dead, but we can examine ourselves as a society and decide whether it is what we do every single day in a biblical way, in an Abrahamic way, because all faiths are of the same, and that is do unto others as you would do unto yourself. The symbols of a brother carrying a brother that has been immortalized in statues, it's something that we lived. That effect will always be there. We can wish for things that it will never happen again. We can ask the questions as to why. We can make judgment calls as to whether there was enough punishment for those involved. We can look comparatively across at what happened in Hillsborough in the UK, Ellis Park in South Africa, and other venues. but the impact is huge and will never go away. You ask me that every year we either lay a wreath or we do what it is that we need to do to support the survivors, the families, the victims. And you're asking me whether emotionally, whether it becomes overwhelming. I think that it's important to realize that when you've been involved with something for so, the impact, it's forever. It's not as though it died when children grew up and they moved on. We've looked at people like Nenemaya who've qualified and they are in the financial world. My dear friend Rani, who is ageless, she never seems to age, and who lost her husband on May 9th, and she's still only in her 40s, so still very young. The impact is massive, but it is now part of our lives. It's not just on the day, May 9th, that we herald it and we support it. It's something that occurs continuously, absolutely continuously. This year, we are talking at great length about what has happened to the poor Kotoko supporter who was killed at the football match, Pule, who was left behind a wife and family. And it is truly sad that in this day and age that this can happen. And I find it sadder when authorities then react to it. Oh, we must now do this, we must now do that. Surely it must be part of our culture to do the right thing in the first place. The system should be in place to safeguard every life, every life. It transcends which football team you support. And when there's a loss of life, then it's a serious indictment for those who run the game, as well as those who are responsible for the security and well-being of all Ghanaians.
All right, we, Mr. Herbert Mens' son. But sorry, Sammy, call back a few seconds before my voice way. When I say you can say weightlifting elections. Now, there's a letter from the National Sports Authority halting the elections. Elections I declare president, subject immediate suspension of the Ghana Weightlifting Federation elections. The attention of the National Sports Authority, NSA, has been drawn to the decision by the Ghana Weightlifting Federation to conduct its upcoming elections virtually and also without prior timely notification of the Director General. The notification email to various parties in which the NSA Director General is copied was sent at 6:30 p.m. today, Thursday, 8 May 2025, which is after the official close of business. This email notification is coming on the eve of proposed elections that is supposed to take place tomorrow morning, Friday, 9th May 2025. This move is unacceptable, ill-advised, and must be addressed accordingly. As it is, I only had the opportunity to read your email at 9:45 p.m. after final preparation to mark the 24th anniversary of Africa's West Stadium disaster, in which 127 lives were lost. This turn of event raises serious questions of impropriety as the mandated body that oversees all sporting federation associations in Ghana and a critical stakeholder in matters concerning the governance and administration of sports. It is unacceptable that such a major development is being pursued without prior briefing or formal and timely communication to my office. I hereby direct an immediate halt to the planned elections of the Ghana Weightlifting Federation until further notice. You are hereby invited to a meeting with the NSA on Tuesday, 14th May, to seek clarity on the rationale behind the virtual format, the limited notice, and the overall conduct of the electoral process. The NSA remains committed to ensuring transparency, inclusivity, and accountability in the governance of sports in Ghana. Following Tuesday's meeting, the necessary directives will be given regarding the resumption of the election process. Thank you. Mr. Yao, we a goof kasiapa. You have goofed. You're my senior brother and a senior colleague. I will tell you without missing words. Menya sure say mandate of the NSA no more because elections of federation associations, it is not you now go ahead. So if the JFA is going to do elections, also no more time, go ahead. Please.
Happy FM.
You are a fine gentleman and a senior brother.
No, Onuka only board. Now who is
only board? Who is it? Hey, Yamavangra.
Yeah.
You see what is even sad is that wo Ntebia now who had it
beach soccer.
If now yeah the right mother body requirement you and then you are writing letters to a federation and association telling them that you see madam deputy DG Veronica Komi Miami sister no tell your boss we a goof you should record this letter. This letter must be recorded with immediate effect. You are at best they will only inform you out of courtesy. They only inform you out of courtesy. That you have a problem with them doing a virtual election. Since when? Did the NSA determine who becomes head of a federation or association?
Or how an election
should be done? If you have interest, it is political. You can do it covertly. You can do it covertly. You don't sit in your office and be issuing letters that on what they only notify you a day before and.
But are they supposed to notify it?
Oh, say out of courtesy.
So it's out of courtesy, yes.
Out of courtesy and respect. Because even on office squad, say NSC, proper to Sunisi.
Sure.
Not the out of courtesy and respect. But there's nowhere in this world. And also who now will determine how they run the elections, when they do the elections, and who becomes their president. You don't have that locus. In fact, and this is even rugby union, only election.
Yeah.
You were only invited to sit in elections. You didn't play any role.
Yeah. And he was there. Even a no crampo.
There are issues.
There are issues.
There are issues in elections.
After elections, no crano. The other party, crampo accused the director general and the entire quarter.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, because they are for them, because when you said there are issues, into quarter, what it means is that what could you know one side. But when information about say the current general secretary at the GOC, lawyer Kasim, Muniru, any lawyer now Odofoli, not any supervisor.
Elections committee.
A supervisor, a man wait listing for elections.
So then what's the business of the NSA?
Ninyina say now special operatives be a senka disruptions na by the last time on besan koye foforo.
But about say first one what
did intercept
anka hwe NSA anka
Charlie mo nka che yourself on
tina e ma de buy no e buy information na yet ni say 98.9 the NSA ni be ye bia no resource no ensesa elections no be bia ya electing ni bia no.
No, sir, by law, they don't have any locals to determine who becomes the president of the
association. No, you see, I think that this one, the disappointing thing is that he has been a journalist all these years. He knows that. If he has forgotten, then let's remind him. He knows that he has no locus. The NSA has no locus with respect to elections of mother associations. I mean, that's fact. It's so basic. Say, anti GFA for kwakoye election. As a certain china omo di modus operandi eba. Kwaya omo faso ato aba no. Baby omo beto aba no. Say I mean, yentia say na during crisis time. Omo eja akra fa go. The last election if I no go.
Tamale.
Tamale. And when they say betre, if you say Tamale na mo ko. You know, so if an association have decided say
Charlie, me my way in time Monday we will deal with this matter.
Yeah, because it's completely unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable.
We will deal with this
because any information Benyan say
yes, we deal with the
federation for say statement na director general di abano omu huye.
Completely bogus.
Nah, because it won't change.
I'm more rest for myself.
Uni ba dey slow. NSA no, I know them weight lifting.
In fact,
I know mom.
In fact, almost say omo be decimate eye. Be decimate eye statement we with him.
Yemreko. Let us deal with the issues at hand.
Dr. Ernest Scranton.
Dr. Ernest Scranton, but I'm really sure that say Jessica Fiambonsa, we will connect with Jerome Ochre online. Jerome, baby, I will be no on her. You should be in the middle. On how to be comfortable. Of course, I don't you're comfortable. Probably the NS match of Hana Prof from Bahamame. Probably don't know if you rap. So we are about to get into the roundtable discussions and deal with roundtable. Someone say roundtable. Deal with a very major issue high in sports, but particularly football, because I know any team pulling numbers, at the MIA is the passion of the nation. One football administrator described as the opium of the world. And a football, we are seeing baby Abokubian, Obiape. But and then a movie from just being sport to major business are the value chain of running a very good football industry, enormous. Meaning, we be a ton Chichinga Accra Sports Stadium. The last America said, Niama what me aton Chichinga dia impressive. One mupe suya pa no. On say VIP hono. What they call Adramani hono wo. Why business na chepa and one mutu Suyo Stadium, Hotel 4, Taxi 4, Tego's Kitchen. And the value chain is enormous. And the benefits no ebe dawson bene as a football no kwa na echo for in terms of attendance. And the worrying sign is that the next generation no, are becoming TV fans. They are enjoying the game, but they are enjoying it on TV. They don't have the live football stadium experience. And the new kinds of stadium kwana unim the intel also stadium. But I've got experts, people who have followed the game for a long time. T game na say major event, anyhow events are organized. Ebe share some opinions and expertise with us. There now say clubs in a year to get the fans back. On Tuesday, you be fans no. There empower ne bit me. I'm on back to the stadium. Overwhelmingly, will be about quality. But is it sustainable? So quality in the bar and non solve the problems are nah. Ni na hon komo na pay you have it. But Dr. Ernest Scranton and I pay more watching our Happy 90.9 FM. Good to see you. Good to have you here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'm in the shadow so a club official or no or the club enim or African and saying Abba experience no or sign team manager the Black Stars of Ghana. Shadow TM, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Fantastic. Just go find Bosan so ewa ha. Kobi say be aboko there.
Be aboko.
Fantastic. But yeah, starting off with May 9th because the BABR don't come away. May 9th, whether you like it or not, played a major part in discouraging people from going to match venues, especially during the podcast games.
98.9.
I don't know what HappySports Stadium. When you say if events, no, and yet event you can go to any event concerning May 9th, you will be happy. It brings back some very sad memories from someone who is directly involved in football management. Event, be saying, what does it tell you? Have we learned something from it? And what can we do in the future to prevent some of these issues from happening?
Me amedase. Micha etie for Sonia. Mid-mom dear, whenever I'm involved in such event, it's a reminder of how we've not done so well in the area of developing our game beyond violence, hooliganism. Because day in, day out, we call your match venues or your league centers to watch matches. You see series of events are, if not well managed, I bet me easily spiraling into violence. For me, honestly, I don't enjoy, unless I have to be there, I don't enjoy really participating in such events because I talk show be the behavior of average Ghanaian football fan and share that sign from that time now May 9 see and we see traces of that day in day out in our football. Even community soccer Gala so it tells us that we've not really changed our attitudes towards violence in our sports, and for me that's the sad part.
But honest, do you think, sir, 24 years near, we have overly emphasized the impacts of May 9th on match attendance? And I say a reality we have to deal with, deliberate plans to deal with. Sadly, and I say maybe I mean maybe you engineer the American Park bio, but you play too much emphasis on that.
98.9. Because events near say Asia. It's no the learnings from a boa to shape a policy society. You can mention policy. To me, I can't send a new man na de. But because ye kura a mra and a guide niama ye no, debia mekase. Bibia is often or should be within the remit of a year loss ye creative. Enti the most impactful way ye bet to me assess your conduct over the years, and they say in 24 years, Sanya mani see na this suade a ye nya say na influence
Happy FM 98.9
policy. I influence
behavior, fun behavior.
Because policy na yemra and the be guide your behavior. May 9, I remember Mekaino with a lot of disappointment. Say, Mekai first 10 years of May 9, me documentary, me 10 years of May 9 documentary for the BBC at the time, because I used to work for the BBC. And also me kaita manam school of communication. Me my dissertation back then, me BB on May 9.
Okay.
First one I'm here for the BBC. Now it was focused on what happened and 10 years after that. But me dissertation, the focus on how that was going to impact policy, GFA status na ye develop sana ye be game no security ne sa na mana ye be no. But Sena, my brother Aminu Kain, over the years we have not necessarily improved senior and yoma on because of May 9. Inti May 9 usubia near ye testimonial. Inti befre ura Herbert Mensah.
Yeah.
Na wakasa kakra. Nebia say cry the Hariza call cry the and we don't remember him.
Yeah.
He was
there today. Yeah. Okay.
And a few people say be a busuafo no obi wo ho ane, and that's what we do with it. But the bigger challenge is also the media. Anyone more ye football no, because we are a football no, more ye football no, any sports ministry I run na there say yama nyama we influence send ye be revise your policy na guide sena ye be ye football now. 50 years from now we will gather and talk about it. In fact, I do not even think that if certain people leave this earth, May 9 will even be significant anymore.
Sure.
Uko broni kroma. Abrofo so enyom challenges on Benjamin.
Yeah.
Omo challenges over Obika Hillsborough. Obika Superga disaster. Torino had a crazy team that was on the verge of dominating Europe for God knows how long. Omo aeroplane to form. It changed the way of travel by Italian clubs, by Torino as a club. Man United, same.
Yeah.
Enti yadie no, say na asesa, say na yadie. Enti like Aminu said, ye gather ne ye din koma. Enti after ne me na asan. A bit 12 months later. Intermediate.
Anyways. Jesse.
Yeah, you see what my two panel members have said, clearly, I think it's an abdication of government responsibility. So, Emrani. Okay, so Emrani policy ayeke. Say political parties near see vigilantism. You almost cause a problem. Your Delta Force, your there and there. What did we do? We decided to go to Parliament to enact a law to deal with the matter. Why are you fast on sports and for that matter football or memo has said and only a problem? That's right. Say agro, sani a friend. Inti seeing na ye di agro. Omo no masimbi no mo ye. Yen connecting it to development. Yen connecting it to employment. Yen connecting it to economic issues. Yen connecting to it's having impact on GDP. Yen connecting. Enti ye discuss football and I say discuss sports. Said the English government and I say UK government in Premier League. And yes, sana Ghana government in Ghana Premier League.
This is true because I've had cause to raise issues with Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports and Culture. Say assemble or sports. Na omu discuss ya. Utimu say research bianco.
Debbie.
I've had cause to even call the chairman one time and complain say questions are more bisano. You are not going to get any answers. Any problem.
I don't mean to cut you, but you see anytime I talk about the quality of people who do anything, and you say we're undermining, looking down on the quality of those people. No. We're looking at their expertise, their experience, their appreciation of insemno discussing. Into normally constitute parliamentary committee on sports and what. First of all, how do you even combine sports and culture and all of that nonsense? How do you do that?
So, for instance, someone asked the question, say, why don't we have FIFA-approved size pitches in Ghana?
You be a committee for.
Committee, So I tested the member of the committee. Clearly, he was reading.
National policy or regulation.
What you wanted to ask is that are there any FIFA-approved venues for international games? I know could be on the size.
Okay.
Yeah, so question man. Even ask it.
FIFA qualifying matches in Ghana. Wow, into a young crofona. One will constitute. If you want to get me, sometimes you need to get very blunt when you're dealing with these issues. We simply don't have qualified personnel doing a lot of things in this country. I may have gone to school by God's grace to the highest level, whatever. But me area. And untina enene ukasi u empanel and Krofamoma discussing agriculture and its impact on your friend is economy. I may have general knowledge. I may go read and come and say something, but I won't honor that invitation. But my entire life, 23 plus years, 24 years, I have been in this business of sports business. As someone who started as a regular stringer, went through the process, became a reporter, went to school so that I put scientific basis to everything I had been doing as a young reporter from age 18. And then I have gone to school over the years by God's grace to deepen that appreciation. Into when I'm talking to you sports business, is a combination of experience over 20 years.
Both practical and
theoretical. If I talk to you media and marketing communication, experience of over 24 years, having played the sport to some extent, having administered it, built brands, covered major. I did more than 100 international football matches involving the Black Stars alone. More than 100 alone. And yeah, 100 say me baby na me cover. 100 across
Life.
7-8 Africa Cup of Nations. And then all of the World Cups we've attended, with the exception of Qatar 2022. So when I'm speaking on these matters, a combination of all of these things I put together. You get it? But Ukona will say, a committee on culture and sport. First of all, the constitution of it is balderdash.
But remember,
what exactly are they discussing? They can't promulgate allies to say, oh, it's on the floor of parliament. You call committee meeting. You discusses now there's a law that says, yeah, football match, security,
so for instance, Shadow, in 2001, the Commission of Inquiry, who said any exit points be stadium. Into match was an into lighting issue, visibility issues, and a cost stampede, into market corner has 24 years later, it is still in there.
It's still in there. When we have lights almost everywhere.
When the activity of the studio has been changed, where their exit points.
So it gives
24 years later,
it gives
that's still
credence
there.
It gives further credence to the Armenian Mocha. We've not really given meaning to Nyama Bebe Yakano. And the meaning has to do with enacting clear-cut guidelines in policy, any regulations at the national level. And then the Galamse presidency, the bill parliament to exempt the president from giving
signing authorization
for forests is a clear-cut direction of the nation. Say this is the direction we are going. Passport regime, we are changing into a digital more. It's a clear-cut, national policy. Into sports there, relative to security.
Relative to business,
the best we've done recently in terms of security was regional security officers. Backed by which law?
And the new IGP can say
exactly.
I will not allow them.
How
to
is
do
it being funded? And that's why all the excitement with the kind of police in immediately after police incidents, I die off. Why? The first game I bought Tuba after police incident, there was police armored vehicle at a match venue before. Police motor, Alajo.
In football, police brought their own ambulance.
Serious. I was like, oh, and I was me and Kasano. I was even surprised that we have this number of personnel, and they were so professional today. And what kept ringing in my head is, can we sustain this? And I knew we can't because
it's not backed by any law.
We're so consumed by the immediate.
And that's why the meaning of May 9 is getting increasingly lost on a lot of people. And very soon now, NSK, in some generations to come, I'm sure this activity of May 9 I'm very sure then I also not giving meaning to them.
Because so you see, for example, this passport embedded chips are and the kind of statements be from Abuchinapo, who is ranking member for the Foreign Affairs Committee, about how the government played a role in the embedded chip. They formulated the policy, executed the policy and everything, and this government has come to take shine from it and all those things. Clearly, you can see that there is a ranking member's eye on the ball. They have issued a statement, and then May 9th. Ranking member now was Sports and Culture Committee, where issue statement to be. And then going forward, has any proposal been made? So I keep saying, sports always enjoys this back burner.
Prof, anytime we talk sports and parliament, yana me bofu. Shadow, maybe you don't remember. Maybe Ernest, what do you name so? But do you know that the last two AFCONs Yako failed, Parliament set up committee. But submit a report. They're not even able to submit a report. Because the last one, I call him FA president, FA players, the life of that parliament died without that committee submitting a report.
And there's no continuity.
What it means that by parliamentary law, you have to start the whole process again.
Yes.
So you call Cameroon by Same thing happened.
I had that report. I had that report.
That report, Omentima implemented because the life of that parliament died. Way sooner, it shows you clearly say the people involved, inform.
And one say Black Stars are qualified for World Cup. Opportunity to travel. No more call. No more Geomania. No more ba. And one say ye call Olympic Games. Now when ya in the constituents kakra na the to kwai no more call. That's all. But really, to bring meaning to what they really do over there, it's and impact on the sport. Creative arts almost set it up law. They have created the Creative Art Fund.
Yeah.
How in this world?
In fact, Omania 3% flat rate in terms of VAT.
Come on, how in this world?
3% flat rate. Hasfuk Boa, 17.5.
How in this world do you create a sports law without a funding component? How? And then we are told, I mean, when the delay of the passage of the sports bill, and I was told that the finance minister says if they don't take away the funding component, then they don't pass the bill into law. And so the minister had to compromise and take out the funding component of the law so that it becomes, we just pass a sports law without a funding component. And government after government dilly-dallying with that matter. The NPP promised us that they will set up a national sports fund. In and out of parliament, cabinet, out. This government has promised same thing, and they've come into power. We don't see anything. And for me, I think that it's a real big concern for me. Say, I say, about the matters of football, the matters of sports are. You pia kwa to nchen baby and I say ye di agro. And for me, those of us involved in the matters, we must be concerned.
So, Yembra a important leg in the show on. First of all, how did we get here? How did we become? How did sports fans become so indifferent about football? Uko is Legona. High sense for office now. War a year.
Opposite Malcolm.
Sorry
for advertising.
Oh, I mean, for clarity, I'm going to be there. Almost screens, but office no. Yeah, but Champions League.
It's a hub. It's a hub now.
Champions League, you know. Now, someone who benefit from the local league and as a local football. How did people's appetite for foreign football becomes this much? Yeah, boy, dear Krana.
Media focus every evening on Champions League night to do content. Every crack no live. Into live reactions no more for media houses in this country. Because in the end, what is compelling content to the people who are listening and watching?
How did we get here, Shadow?
I know Trey will say the love for football never.
Nipa Pagrono.
But pay local football. Because local football, football they are done. We have been very, very slow to catch up with the rest of the world. Even up to now, they are actively
regulating almost
actively we more and more supported. Even though they keep having full stadium near actively they are still pursuing the regular fan with their content. So to sustain that level of interest.
So I'm told that El Clasico over the weekend, the Spanish embassy in Ghana is showing it.
Yes.
Spanish embassy in Ghana.
They are not just showing it; they are creating an event around it. Like I always say.
Studies have shown say more and more people enamouring Airport Stadium not because of the football. More and more people.
Stadium not because of football.
No football.
90 minutes of football
is the list of. In fact, more and more increasingly, very soon people will start going to the stadium. Not to even go. They don't watch the football.
They don't watch the game. No, it's like who share football on TV. So I mean,
exactly.
90 minutes. No, how many minutes do you watch it at a time?
Attentively.
And no,
you
are checking live reaction. You checking, and at the end of the
week, why are people going to the stadium? Why?
Experiential.
One, because on person mo call honoma, omo pia, on menya bibia, on bet media can send for ages to come.
Experiential.
And that's why a team like Tottenham Hotspur, for instance, on mobile White Hart Lane, even though it is full all the time, they invested £1 billion
in a bigger venue
to build not only a bigger venue, but a stadium a Acadie Bibria, a battery amount for all sectors. Internet, on stadium no one, more baby, or you call tasty wine.
They brewery or beer.
Exactly.
Until you can taste beer from right from the brewery.
American football, more stadium beer, or more pool. One section of the stands. They serve specialized hot dogs, and that's why people go to that stand. So people are not going because of football. But you feel say football no. You feel say football no. But I go beyond even football no. Football no you feel say football no. And any football no yes I mean for that sector of the football no any attractive football no. And also into you are losing on both fronts. On the traditional front where you say football no. Football which means infrastructure no. Ball football, basic infrastructure, even the field of play no. Any standard passing of the ball crab
easy. Yeah.
How are we training juvenile clubs near there to produce exciting talent? Even though we are shipping off like Brazil, they almost shipping more players in the world than every year no
players
more play because on conveyor belt no, on development and now on production line no, they invest more money there to produce quality to replace into be quite. Now there's another Messi also coming in, but Hanum no, side no because football no, you can say any bibi, and can be a higher, and by now no something. This discussion is a national dialogue, how the states can be involved in ensuring say football no, I'm a for football. You say football country no. You repeat the maximum benefit out of it. So, in a nutshell, no, I'm out for actively developing more ways to bring fans. No, you know, Sebi Ada, and I hope he say out of magic. And now a door from Kwan Ghanaians a woman football into no, a backpack.
Dr. Ernest, then how do we? Okay, so points now Shadow raising very very legitimate and important. So the disconnect, how did the gap become so big? Because Shadow Blasters game, Unya become Accra Sports Stadium.
Not all of it. Yeah, last year, don't forget there was a Ghana game, there was a Black Star game, which was not great.
Basically because of the result.
Yeah. It's a combination of a number of things. Yes, we'll get into that.
But local league, they say, come on, some kind of
they are not shadow kind. A idea back up and a difference. How deliberate we are. Asa.
With the
football. With everything. Yeah. Oh, sorry, ne. Unim say show. Yeah. And up past 6 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever. What it am? Say show no starting 9. Pre-production meeting, maybe a bear and no pabe 6 or 7 a.m. Because of that, we be sorry in term kakra. Now we making sure say we be drew her before 9.
Yeah.
Now we drew her after 9. Say why you late for the show?
Sure.
Until we be say bibi a we be and you're deliberate. Time I be that enra. Sure. Oh sorry, aniama we be.
After share. The obeyance what to car.
Intino, my main control. Bronica empiricism, and I'm a researcher. Bronica empiricism is science. Science is empiricism. Empiricism, yeah, dear. Adia ube to me a koba kakasio. Ye ni say, and routine ye as a result. Yeah. Into ye then. Oh yeah, regularly. Now, I say, I modify no. Now we modify no because we modify no because Niama SSR there's into who evolve because we are Nankasa. But if you're not deliberate from the beginning, you can't be scientific. You can't be unya empiricism now. we're not deliberate about this whole thing,
Football
sports business. Me put there, me kind of sports then we can narrow to football because you see, there's a way ube to me anchor their way in sports on football. There's a way. And untina for a long time no. Na ye ni a sporting venues no. 2008 Africa Cup of Nations. You started the process of building venues around the country from 2004. Venues ni bu hani kunto kwase. Me enye just football by our stadium. But yenye no sporting venues are because they be an say bibi na di bibi ba. You say from bibi na de enyumba o say den. Nyumba. So something can always instigate something else. Meba.
Yeah.
Enti you can't generally sports business. Ni aka football. Say football na ye premise because eno na ye ene wo dom kese e wo wiase. Enti why are we not deliberate about what we do? And I make us say the missing link is how I don't know whether there's something like undeliberate or the lack of being deliberate in all of the eno missing link. Eno pe because say if we can get that right, we won't say bibia besesa. Yeah ball no. Because nipa no wo abontin. To say when we used to make those lame excuses why people don't go to the stadium. Now you say, because of European club football. Me say, stop that nonsense. And I'm saying, stop all of that. The world is become so America for a premise near then so competitive. So if it's not a free market, say free market and socialist then capitalist. So the world has become so capitalist. Say, diobi pena umano. Me pacho oti ase. It's socialism is not easy because socialism no. A few people no mo gather no mo say. Ye pesi ye we ma mumpe. But if you say no, you see democracy, you see free speech, free will. Because Nyankopon kra sebi, Nyankopon kra boy kra ma free will. The only thing is that the consequences of your decisions, you don't have power over it.
Yeah.
Intino, broni ehu sa no, say capitalism ene the way to go no. Ade na ye compelling mame no. Eno na meye untumi nhye. But we are there na say interest no touching me, I'll be there. Enti niama eko against your football and your sports no. Enye rival because that's why you have direct and indirect competition. Indirect competition bebre wo ho say osu na stadium one say me kohwe hard to work in Asante Kotoko match no. Sometimes maybe osu no, maybe stadium no. Bar be what left hand side just by Access Bank. There are more people sitting there drinking. And these are men. They just said they have no business thinking. Say, but there's a stadium, there's a game going on. Game, let's go. Because now, start drinking sports, any what they are doing, the music they are playing there, the kebab, everything, is a competition. Ma who had to voka. Where then we organizing match say and perform between who any Bechem United. Until you cannot plan how you scale without thinking about why are people gathering in their hundreds at that bar? They are men and they are not coming to the stadium.
Why, for instance, why don't we bring that same level of
excitement?
So that when they go to the stadium, they will have it. What you say, Brony ni ansana?
It's
Real Madrid.
very simple.
Very simple. Real Madrid, the stadium full fraud because they want to make it more and more user friendly. Germany. And when I had the opportunity of going to Germany many years, almost 20 years, first time, Germans, this culture, and honor, because the Germans started it in 2000, trying to build new stadia and giving SAS a football experience, stadium. And the Germans started it. It's not Italians, it's not English. Yeah, the Italians did something back before 1990 World Cup. But the Germans changed the face. How? Germany will be or Berlin. Will be to me or in the family. By Friday. Bayern Munich double match Sunday. Friday. Omo po ejuma. No omo apake omo hu egu ka mu. Omo ko Munich. Because Bayern double match Sunday. But Friday no. stadium no activity wɔ for nkɔla Saturday maamefoɔ so yɛ bibi na Sunday ɔno bɛrima no ɔkɔ enjoy game no time a enjoy game no nkɔla no di agorɔ still maame no korɔ mpɛ bɔɔl na still ɔmo atua na ɔmo ewura stadium Allianz Arena ɛna ɔmo yɛ deɛ ɔmo bɛyɛ nti wɔn sɛ yɛde game no ɛtwe other things na yɛde nneɛma bebree aka ho exactly so you ask yourself again and I mean wɔ ha a few weeks ago on my opportunity ni ɛni ni di nkɔmɔ ɛwɔ yɛ channel ɛyɛ the Back Sports channel and the interview is doing very well on the YouTube channel ɛna wɔka sɛ problem ni nyinaa ɛsɛ yɛn bɔɔl no say how deliberate are we. Do we even appreciate what all of this is about? Because maybe obia mempe sadi and say because Brenya is saying no. There's uniqueness. Yeah. But who do you know? Do you even accept that you're not there, and you've got to say, spend some money on research, find out how unique you are, so that you can tailor your things to get the Ghanaian to be at that venue, to consume what you're giving them.
Interesting perspective. And we will divide the next conversations into three. You may share the national policy. Emma in football, no. Nipa energy, because as Doc said, as the marketing is too free, too liberal, and any product be to me unregulated. But the so-called product in a free baby ban only regulated. So last week I was watching a documentary on the BBC. Police for and the Premier League for a command for them because now people have fire sticks in their room almost streaming Premier League and other leagues in free. So they are clamping down on illegal streaming of their products. Right? Almost streaming. What is the national regulations on protecting indigenous homegrown policy? They are about the FA or a governing body, so they are all year in terms of on product FA league, they know better me a year to get excitement and the clubs in doing what is right. Near back clubs nankasa so have they lost touch? Yes. Do they have the right men running their clubs? Do they have the right policies in place? Do they know their fan base? Do they know why the fans are not coming? So for instance, someone told me say Nestle, for instance, or your product, then pan to or commission research into it. Why are people not buying this product? What can we do better for people to buy it? Are our clubs doing same? And these are the trail, phase of conversations are prof for becoming brief in Nayambra the bigger conversations in the school.
I'll sum it up this way. We have to think globally but act locally. Very important. And look, what Doc spoke about, scientific aspect of neglecting the scientific aspect of the game is one cause that people are, because time when a DSTV buy, let's take it around 93, there about, that time now, it's Cafor Nana, it will be. This English Premier League and all those things. By say 2000, then now now people could afford. I'll come back and say,
never in my life did I think that it may be draw me. Manya DSTV. Fee air condition. Fee because you air condition. Cable TV.
So today these things have become so common. And the ordinary football fan, you see, the world has become a global village. The ordinary football fan has choices.
Exactly.
Our choices.
Or choice and to select.
Those options are growing by the day.
And sometimes I even better.
One deliberate to woo him, forget it. Until Mekai long ago, and this thing I will keep on saying it. 2010, Godfred Akutobuafu was on Asempa discussing something. Say, at the FA level, they need to have a technical director in charge of TV. Or see, and he gave this interesting analogy. Say, or see, so cost stadium, the way I who born no TV so it's not the same way.
It's horrible.
Enti the trouble no Rooney one skill, but you trying different angles. Somebody I will show TV so
in fact, the truth of the matter is that TV so even the game looks faster. But clips now man for them phones. It build up to go.
Same game.
Absolutely. And so somebody has been deliberate thinking say adiena yedi babe two TV so ama yedi babe two TV so ama no yen exaggerating kakra yen fa bibi nka ho na enye fe na ordinary fan nka say ade we dey Rooney go we dey the way of turning play defender inside out right and on the left no but yeah there's a certain effect I dey atoso enti the next one also Mkwako Rooney
even playbacks when you say playbacks you know every league they are on playback even Spanish leagues they emphasize on dribbles even Suliano those things a major part of their playbacks they even slow motion uniqueness so where the English Premier League productions now it is different
being deliberate
so somebody has been deliberate about this thing
deliberate.
Albert Comey at that time he was PRO 2010 and I'm going back to these things because I think that it's important. Or see, he suggested at a House of Work Management meeting say they should look at wooing new fans into common schools. So nanka JHS for mobile House of Work game a free mamo more na mo a game so eventually they get interested in it and all those things. Quarter management level, no. I say they poo-pooed it, and you know this is 2010. This is 2010.
Who are those taking the decision?
This is 2010.
Do they understand it?
This is 2010. So it's important. Say the ordinary football fan. They say Obia management, the people running our game at the club level, at the GFA level. That's what Mutia says. The ordinary fan has become sophisticated. Woman in the FA obeko. And then Tori Jibril, a PA3 as we can confirm go ahead. So respect me, the customer. Respect me.
A fan say a customer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Na afe and fan will say me a kotoko, and I say and fan will say me a has, and I say and fan see me as a football fan who you want to attract for me to come and watch your game. How you go about it, it's important. Let me feel important. Say me bano, me a special. What special things are you doing to attract me? Sebeya and next Sunday Liverpool ni Arsenal me jaho send me go stadium akakoshe a local game. You must give me a reason. So one man is a reason now.
Entene the titi adie set me pe club ni nti na me kono ni.
There be any enti a game there.
But it's for me to yes exactly.
You need to enhance
and that's what it's like we are running on those films e Ghana hano.
And one call fans
and na dey aduma. And even them we are losing them.
Unim bibi. Ohene. What stops Kotokone has game? What stops them from saying that look 15 minutes no businessmen momra moba sa half time
no are we going into professing
solutions? You come to the solutions. Let
me not go ahead of
myself. Jerome Hoa so because he's followed one of the biggest clubs in the country. He's written for them for a long time, and if anybody knows the DNA of Kotokwa, you just say he will be one of them. Jerome, good morning. Marco about you so.
Yeah, good morning, Brenya. And good morning to Kofi and Aminu.
And Dr. Ernest Cranton so awaha.
Okay.
Dr. Ernest Cranton so is seated in the studio.
Oh, Doc. Sorry.
Voice. Yeah.
I mean, Doc there, I stand up for him. Doc, good morning.
Your voice.
Yeah.
You know, make sure say you I mean in terms of experience in going to the stadium, you see crowd, you see numbers. You know, one of the interesting things and I am a fair power to say before players be PFC stadium tunnel no old man be the to Baba na wabɔ ansa na players na apie. You've seen it all. Dear na benti ne kotoko ball a. Interesting na omo winning league yi kura winning league kura bobo yi kware nipa nko. Ene utimi kan nipa ba stadium 14, 15, 16, 17. What really is happening to fans, the base of the team, fans?
Well, I think a lot has changed. If I listen to you very well, you made reference to the era where there was this old man who played a gun or some sort of musical instrument, and it signals something. The players come out and Ubia will cheer them. One of the biggest Kotoko crowds I have seen in the last 10 years, I think 10 to 11 years, Kotoko MC El Uma.
Al Uma, yeah.
It was a million crowd. I think it compares with Kotoko Hatsofo 2009, where the fire service had to spray water on the fans because of the heat that the atmosphere, the numbers were generating in that scorching sun. You see, unfortunately, if we are using Kotoko as a case study, Kotoko did not change. So my little boy, who is just about 10 years, has no affinity with Kotoko because I just said, but he talks to me about Liverpool. He talks to me about Manchester United. He talks to me about Nano, football, your boy, Barcelona, Inter Milan. But I know the interest is generated because the next morning I was following on the BBC all the reports. I was in the car with my son and he was asking me, how is everybody talking about the game? Daddy, what happened? You see, I'm just trying to say that the interest in European football by just anybody you meet on the street, including children, it just didn't happen. It happened because we are compelled to follow it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a compelling reason to watch European football because wherever you pass, it is there. Unfortunately, our local football, especially our clubs, haven't moved from the era where I, Jerome, who loves Kotoko, will naturally follow Kotoko because I love Kotoko. The generation that is coming up don't have that love. You need to sell the whole business of football and the fandom thing to them so they will come on the basis of what they see you doing. That's why people will follow EPL. People will follow UEFA Champions League because the product EPL, the product UEFA Champions League has an element in it that draw fans. Fans see it and they're like, what is this? They want to be stuck to it. Unfortunately, back home, we haven't reached that point or we lost that moment. And we are losing that bit of club football management that tells us that, or that teaches that you need to sell your football club as a product to the fan out there. And then we are saying, and let's use the last Hearts Kotoko game as an example. Senye Happy FM and other media houses who I saw constantly telling the House of Folk Protocol rivalry story and encouraging fans to come out. I didn't see anything House of Folk did. I did not see anything compelling enough from House of Folk that, assuming, say, Brenya has fun. Now me person me coach football on a Sunday, it will move me to go. Because that era, that era now, the die-hard Hearts of Oak fan would want to see how Kotoko will face Hearts or how Hearts will beat Kotoko. And then our fans, do level. If you really want them, you need to do things differently. That's almost you need to do things differently before they come out. How much more the new generation? So, in a nutshell, I don't think our clubs have positioned themselves well to attract the necessary attention from the public. The day before Hearts of Oak played Kotoko in Accra, Kaiser Chiefs were playing Orlando Pirates.
In the Soweto Derby?
Yeah, Soweto Derby. I followed the Kaiser Chiefs account on Twitter or X. One of the things I saw them do was a whole brochure on the game.
Yeah.
It was 12 pages. 12 pages of a PDF document talking about the Soweto Derby. Who did he say? Say, Menya Sika Tukwako, Johannesburg. Now, me document way compelling enough. Now, me a football fan. Won't I look for a ticket? This weekend, I think they are playing the Nedbank Cup final. I saw a story yesterday that suggested that tickets have been oversubscribed. It is not because you football. It is because they find a compelling reason to go and watch football. That is why you have a 90,000 or 92,000 capacity stadium almost filled to capacity. That's why Ghana we were doing it.
Yeah.
I gave you an example of Hearts Kotoko in 2009. I saw it. Hearts of Oak won that game, I think 1-0 or so. The stadium was filled to capacity.
And now, first was funding in Sioguni Pasono.
Exactly. 2015, 2016. Just about 10 years ago, I told you about an Uma game.
Yeah.
I saw buses from Yeji. I still have those pictures. Kotoko fans from Yeji coming to watch a champion. And then you can't even do Champions League proper near a qualifier.
Yeah.
So then, as in the last 10 years, you can't even draw a quarter of those fans to your game. It is because we have failed to recognize that times have changed. We have failed to run the club, or generally speaking, our clubs, in a way that will attract the ordinary football fan and give him more than I am a fan of Kotoko, so I should come and watch your match. It's a problem with me. I don't know how it's going to be solved, because you see, it comes down to money. I don't think our clubs are financially viable. They have serious issues to do with financing. And say, solve that problem. There is nothing. You may have the best of ideas. I say, Sikasem or former, and net football, it will be very, very difficult for you to attract the best of investments at all levels of the game. But I think the key thing is that our clubs are not being run well. And I have been very vocal on this matter because that is where the problem lies. Sometimes we use Dream Sexy as an example. It offends some people. Say, oh, one bad. I mean, yeah, but they may be young. But you see, almost problem, no. Dreams is, I think, it's because they don't have. And I'm not saying this because Aminu is there. I'm saying this because it's one of the examples I like using. Dreams, should they have a sort of following Hearts of Oak has or Kotoko has, I think they will drive a certain energy which can propel us to a level that our football currently needs. I'm saying this because whatever we want to achieve on the field of play, whether it's the grass, 22 players playing, or fans sitting in the stands, it must start from the management level. It must start from the boardroom. You must conceive the idea, say, this is where and how I want to position my club. It must be documented so that if you are speaking to an investor, any sentiments, any emotions, like they say, science and data, so the investor can see numbers, can read a proposal that is convincing. And I keep using this example because when I went to Dreams, I saw it. I still have that document where you see that somebody is thinking at the club. Say, wishful thinking, you can see something on paper. And I'm sorry to say that anytime I look at Kotoko House of Folk, I don't see that. I see more of emotions and impulse thinking and, I mean, very, very wayward approach to managing a club that has everything to do with followership in the country. Shenanu Saturday was a Sunday. Look at what House of Hope did. Selling tickets and then remove the flag beer pum pum. I call Chutri table basa being an infant unity and normal ton tickets for a game like this. Now, movie tickets crash any at all.
But don't understand. Granting so
Jerome.
Yeah.
Jerome Pacho, what's the
Yeah,
okay. Now, Mimbisa Sembako. Jerome, you've had the opportunity of being engaged by a number of people, ABA organization and our individual or CBA man on the basis of our expertise and our experience and our profession as a manager.
Yeah.
Intime Pacho, ABA initially a nipani reach out no. Oh, you're excited. So this is an opportunity for a livelihood. Because and when you study a hero busia, mebwa. Now, nipa no engage you. Ebi kranana, ebi kra a contract bipona obi mao. Ebi a contract no, a conversation ebe koso for a long time. Ebi a weeks, days. Ebi kobi mao ejuma weeks, days. Nipa o shiame waha. Now we move wa fuel. Now we no akoshiano. O shiame no we move no akoshiano. Say. Anase obi kra ma wejuma. Oma wejuma ni ya oma appointment letter. Me de minim ejuma here o wiasim ha. Ye ma appointment letter we na nipa ni diska kan ho je for the next 1 month no. O transport out be ejuma ni up and down. Na month no so am asentua oka. I know in a lot of cases you have to work 1 month. Month ni endi ansa na etua oka na jero me boa. Ebi kra na sometimes ube ye ejuma 2 months, 3 months. Na yenye ntua oka meboa enye mint na hanka enye se bia aminu shadow ya madam funtina he but minim say sebio your biggest national football team kre okrom ha there are people who work there be 6 months ye ntua omuka Black Star
that's true.
If we want to go into it we won't finish
that is true.
Okay, now asem dear na me pese meka Jerome can be about clubs in Niska Jerome. And no put the starting point. We shouldn't even broach that subject. Adentina, Jerome, Adentina Obiama Wejuma. The first 1 month. We are eager say, Maminko, baby, I mean yes kebia, medebe no. Because when him say month no so abede. But that's say.
Yeah.
Anti clubs no cannot say the basis of our failure to get to do the things we've got to do. Because ye niska. Nyano kre. And no any excuse because you have to investment before because as I say we invest it and Jerome Nankasa science can say now we're talking empiricism here say science into data now we say you were saying some time back me papa Herbert Mensah because we've learned from some of the very best because Kotoko supporters here said 3 million or so 5 million or so 8 million or so.
Only Real Madrid.
Good. That was a nice spin. It was nice PR. But you see, we didn't follow up to say that scientifically we're going around collecting data. To prove they be a mekasi. You know why Real Madrid say they are who they are? It is because Real Madrid can share with you data, and the Spanish clubs are best at doing this. Because first, almost their clubs are owned by the socios, the people. So they can give you data of people around the world who support their clubs, and they are in the hundreds of millions. Into data and crasenia absolute crana, there's something you can hold on to. Into your clubs, no, into me, my excuse bia we asim has because he in this continue, we can't start saying things. I mean, it have been meaning it didn't come a few weeks ago, and I'm saying, does the president of the FA not feel say it rubs very badly on him? Send the club, and because he's on record to hit his chest and say that my club dreams FC. Say, this season I bought Premier League this season, and they've secured safety already, me sure. I mean, some way you say, so they'll play Premier League next season, Premier League football next season. President in the club were bought 4 different home venues this season. Were bought matches. We're moving 4 different home venues. 4. 3 or 4. Wabo Accra Sports Stadium Kakra. Wabo Tema Kakra. Wabo Lagos Stadium Kakra. Say Obobo Tuba. What are we doing to ourselves?
But Jerome, wrap up, man, then we'll come back into this. Jody, Macho, Manu Simamina, Yenja, come say, who will be our APC power.
Yeah, so to a large extent, I agree with him. I mean, the point about not having an excuse if you don't have money as a club. But you see, that point is the reason I'm in here doing this. That point is underpinned by the sort of governance structures, managerial ideas with which we are running our
football.
Clubs.
Yeah.
He mentioned Herbert Mensah. Yadanfo, Red One.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Hassan. There's something he likes saying. I say, look, the things Herbert Mensah did between 1999 and 2002 in our football, we are still grappling with them today.
True.
More than 20 years afterwards. It tells you the sort of vision Herbert had. Unfortunately, at that time, some people within the system, I mean, not the current administration, but some people within the system fought him. Even within the Kotoko setup, they fought him. They resisted the sort of things that he was advocating for our football. I agree with Doc when he says that it's not just about money. Because Herbert, it wasn't just about money. It was about ideas and how you can connect ideas and contact people and speak about the club and see who and where else he can get support from. Fun as somebody there. Look, we can raise lots of points to support why fans are not watching our games. But I think key to them is, the key point is how we are running our clubs and the fact that we are not in line with the modern ways of doing things. So we need to look at it. If we don't look at it, and let's not make it look like it is merely a matter of GFA. Sometimes, I'm part. When we blame the GFA, exactly who are we blaming? Because the composition of the GFA is the club. Let our clubs begin to think. Okay? If you take Shamatex, Gold Stars, who else? There are some clubs who have unique fan following.
Yeah. Gold Stars needs Shamatex new medium. Yeah.
These clubs have a unique fan culture which can be studied, which can be
improved,
properly looked at, and then improved. The mistake we make sometimes is we compare them to Hearts Kotoko, whose following must also be studied and necessary approaches taken to address the challenges they have now. Because it is not the same reasons. If you go to BBN Blue Star, how is it that their venue is always filled? There's a certain reason. It matters we are looking at the generality of the clubs not having money, not having the best of administrative structures and all those things, let's also go down and see that problem doesn't cut across the entire football landscape. Because when Gold Stars is to play Hatofoko or Kotoko or Diana, that BBN will be filled. Even if it's 2,000 people, it's filled. The same applies to Summertex. What I'm calling for is we should also look at the various clubs and their unique
selling point
position in the league and see what we can learn from those experiences. I mean, before I go, I have proposed when I was at I proposed so many times that around the Babayara Stadium is Asokwa, it's Amakum. These suburbs have schools. What does it take to, for instance, the new school year? They do it in Mamelodi.
Yeah.
Sundowns will buy school toys, exercise books, pencils, those things. Go to the communities within Mamelodi and share them free. What will it take Kotoko to do that at Amakum or Asokwa? It raises awareness. Besides the awareness, the little children grow up to know the club. Their father won't tell them. They have a direct experience with Kotoko leadership, Kotoko players, Kotoko coaches coming to Asokwa LA Primary School to see them and share, give them gifts. The next time they sit in their father's house or their home and they hear about Kotoko, it rings a bell. You know, so it's a whole lot. Yeah. Our generation, is what the clubs must look at.
Yeah, but that's it. You say why title, baby. I mean, in your when I mean, say I mean, Empire born a year, healing Suma old man. That's a panape.
No, thank you.
General Matre, and I'm
why title?
Why tight bar. Okay. I'll cry no home fan.
Oh, Charlie.
It's about Shadow. Okay, so Shadow, I'm not for also clubs near to get good.
All right, so
get some solution.
First and foremost, we need to know ourselves.
It's one of my cardinal principles in life. Know thyself.
Yes. Also, clubs globally they are categorized in three categories.
Okay.
Community-based clubs, national-based clubs, and then
global clubs.
As at now, Ghana, they mean to me can say, any global club.
Yeah. We used to have,
but we don't have.
Because the last time I went to Egypt, for instance, an Egyptian spoke about two things. Ghana 6-1 defeats Egypt and Kotoko and Ali. Those are the things they talked about.
But hardly will you find that same person in maybe Brazil.
Yeah, talking about Kotoko.
Yeah, true. But Ali, the IBL Benya, because of the way they've maintained their status.
Yeah.
And me feel say the national clubs, obviously, has Kotoko because everywhere in Ghana, you have their supporters. Into a more approach to things, must have a nationalistic approach. This is now who mentioned the issue about Summertex, BNU Gold Stars, and Mediama, community-based clubs. So now it's up to young clubs now. Young Dreams is a community-based club, but idea made for me, Eddie, and I've always spoken about this severally. And maybe going forward, it should be one thing.
Build a stadium in Nima.
And
Nima or Newtown.
And the team was born from the Zongo community. Mamobi, Nima, Newtown. Imagine we're playing at Kaukudi.
Yeah.
We won't have problems filling Kaukudi. But even if we have to initiate certain measures and make sure community now we have strong affinity with the community. They feel part and parcel of us. And I say in fact, we should make even strenuous effort to move the club's base. Clubhouse, they should interface. Girlfriends, they should interface with the community. A building affinity. And I think that's one thing that a lot of the clubs that's why it's a place like BBN, you always, because company, mines, company, they live there, they have families there, they have friends there. Into stadium corner is like a natural ritual. And I think that's where we as clubs know we have to start. And to start with that, we need to look at our investment policies. And we need to invest in the right personnel. I think across board, one thing I did human resource, quality personnel are on money, the various relevant positions are about driving this kind of change. Yes. And that's why the investment comes in, because with the investment is more, then you'll be able to attract and bring in these professionals to man the relevant department or club. And on driving force to bring out innovative ideas that are there for us to follow. Yeah. We understand on a constant basis now. We don't say revenue now. I best start to say about the American. I had one Harold experience. I won't call it Harold. My wife called Black Stars game. I think the last Black Stars. Ewakra. Last game they won. Obefio no trend baby or TikTok. Me TikTok. But my G phone, my phone number on the back. I was so struck by the experience. Yeah. For the first time in a long while, me say, I'm the DJ about stadium. Halftime selections. And our selections are good.
A ball, Stoneboy, and the whole stadium. Look. And on him, the rivalry between Stoneboy and Shatawale, and deliberately or drop Shatawale.
For 1 hour, now my wife, my phone, my farmer, because I was going to the comments. And it gives me a clear direction. Says September, yet to me the same thing. Now sell it this point,
and even more.
And so this is just one angle. Music, they brought music and a good DJ. Oh yeah, Stoneboy rivalry.
Were we not deliberate?
Deliberate. And right from the entrance. I do from them by no
you saw the combination between GTDC, Tourism Authority,
the GFA,
the Sports
Ministry,
Football Association, Sports Ministry. Collaboration, but how deliberate we were.
But even on that day.
Charlie, time where they
so just imagine say on this we are able to build upon just this example now music DJ no buy the same DJ and we are bringing him more renowned DJs.
In fact, the DJ Black
VIP this is the cuisine 70 are there. If you charge 1,000 Ghana cedis,
people will be there.
People still go
because you see experience
and that is it.
Experiential marketing.
Because you concentrated. I didn't even know what was going on until all these things went on at this stadium. So imagine Serbia has got to come back to the music by. I wasn't at the stadium.
But again, you see,
we can learn from all these things. There's the bar across the stadium.
The time of the game. 3 p.m.
Again, a share commission report.
May bar sit in the paper.
See, so who said? If we invest in bringing the right person into our clubs, roll out these ideas. Any these policies you bet this on a consistent basis. Because
we club you don't have all the people with all the in fact, it makes life easier for you. Because what casting nets wider. Who catch a consultant because consultants is a so tia ne workers. So you see into I read what they kwakoya and kitwa. But who nipa no ye jumama wo club or Dreams FC and I say a koyu month no so ubetua ne ka because our appointment letter to the effect. The point we're making is for us to be deliberate, a 360. Ye nyina yewo in that ecosystem. Unfortunately, the club's leaders and Jerome make key point no. And I've been saying this. Anyone who knows me, I've been saying this all this while. Say Yenja is sad and GFA. Why na GFA?
Clubs now.
Clubs na GFA. Say clubs no decide. They say any vote one we am money leading and money. It doesn't mean say one more forfeiting one more responsibility. still ano woman running football wo krom ha inti woman running football wo krom ha woman nim say woman enu omabusuafo cannot make up 40,000 people who will go to the stadium enu po ye venue almost so entumi make up the millions who watch the games around the world. Inter Milan ne Barcelona match here who can boss San Siro is 80 something thousand. But Italy population is 60 million. Out of that 60 million, you're sure say 40 million plus are connected remotely or directly to the game. There are 8 billion people in the world. You're sure say about 1 billion or so people are connected to it in a way. Adentina, Pope Fufra ye know, Ewo Rome. How many kilometers away? Yes, such a compelling matter. And Crawford check your move phone for update. Oh, yes, see black smoke. Yes, see white smoke. Me see because Bronino or Shedda. Say Shedda ne deliberate. Or Shedda no ya dieno. Ube kum krano. She say na Trump aba America for na so many obi akona ade. And it never looked like America would ever produce a pope. It could even be the conspiracy theory. And they say eventually, even though this pope trained so many years in Peru, but we are American. No, Nina can process no of trying to, as it were, align Nyama. What you say, integrate Nyama soft power. Na de ade. What you say, Bruni Shedan no yes ade no romance no. A creative PR. How many years ago? The idea was, Sebio Nipa Krano. Who can be beaten every day? It has a way of what influencing their thinking and the way they do things. And until that time, I made me producing music, 2003 thereabout. Because I've worked with a number of musicians. The Amihu and they say, Payola, a massive thing. And you know, yes, then crana. Yeah, Bob, I feel more so now. That was a strategy back then. Into young clubs, no, and the clubs who make up the FA, who be someone who say, what is our approach? What is our mindset? Do we accept, say, as a people who own the clubs and maybe administer the clubs, we don't have it all? Can we bring on board other people so that together we can create something thriving, something value-laden? You build an economy of the football we have. It will reward all of us and pay all of us. FIFA, CAF, UEFA, they are working with consultants. They are working with and conform external people to the organizations because they bring different perspectives, they bring expertise, they bring experience so that we can do it together. Today, you can't easily speak to a Ghanaian club and say, I don't have to necessarily be a part of you, but there's something I can contribute. So you look for the basic resources ebemaya started na debi on pesobeti and that's one of the problems I work. But Shadow, my main question maybe I would want me here because we are club prof in confor ye employ wo somebody the clubs and say you appoint you almost somebody the clubs no can na ye do be do ya na
bukrepa e kan pa e di kire say ene the crowd official or that's who catch you about jujua or that's who catch you about those things you know the antiquated archaic things say or that's who catch you when yeah then you've got to ask questions and then only club official discussing no catch you say oh match no cry you show me match is too much on TV you know
can you imagine
and so you see and clearly if sa oni akono on tiase clearly on tiase so
ba ko bi kwa metia mesiri ya kam ye wo say bo agie fidi ama se fa obonye na de bo reti no ya bo de wiere results no ya fa ba no
unim
because bo no eje de bo no
Kingsley Usechan Nyankopon Sha no his 70th birthday is approaching.
Oh nice.
Nyankopon Sha oye me papa. Kingsley Usechan oye
United.
And King's Cottage.
Solid
I am
Yeah.
saying this on record. Obeka, one of the reasons I may have won myself into his heart so much many years ago. Aside say, now I was part of Atlas Sport and later Arthur Legacy. Near any Bechemi Juma direct. Yeah, the boys be free.
Yeah.
To say, Richmond,
But she had if we are common, yeah.
When I was producing the Ghana Premier League for Super Sports, when I was working with Metro, yet ye kosi ye kutra beche match. Ewo.
Bechim.
Unim di omo de aside the bro no ni.
You know omo de car be see. Trailer be see.
Nyama ni kosu nyina no na me bosses fadi ni tala no mo aye worried up and down. Me twan aku na nwumre na me frɛ papa na me say da. Who say now we spend this car Emieko Romeo and Julio tournament ewo Italy. Yeko Trofeo Nerio Rocco. Yeko say now nim dia na wo yes our time no. I am etumi ton bo ache na de. Na wo market players. Eno na TV den.
Ba be yama.
Enti no wo ka say my game no because mo be ye mo niama no. You are looking at a smaller picture of something that's far bigger. I feel because ana papa no he didn't know team. They say da. Enti sadi we no. My money si biom da. This was how many? 15, 17, 18 years ago. Enti your clubs no up to now. Me sure say up to now e bi kra ko ntokwa say me entwa wo.
You be choke bu musisi ya. Ghana Premier League.
Win him. And the player does not have to travel. Say encore or kwakwa air trials. The dreams, but majority of the things, the club will either call for the players' videos.
Because of lack of enough videos.
Charlie,
yes.
No, it's time. No, we need to come back to this conversation because we had a marketing expert, someone who is into team design. I mean, Jesse design. He's designed a lot of jerseys for Dreams FC.
I was going to go
and all that. Shadow boy, Zakaria, now he's in the UK.
Okay.
And there to get 2 minutes of his time on this matter because he's a marketing person, so he's got a lot of depth in this area.
Jerome Boasim bi so me pacho. Me pese me siso bi. Say Asante Kotoko ne had to work. And pray they should do something to attract the up and coming generation.
The guys are not even keeping the whole generation.
Some books assemble or kind. Hard to work. They will not even need to spend their money because they may have a fund or beer or very ready say. Me printing books no dey check hard to work. Na mo farm players pictures. Embo enimu keke. Now schools now in and around the environs of hard to work office a warm cluster of schools a warm na dabraka den na mo ko che books yi mo ko che books no na afe at least Kotoko year around Amekum every year biase Kotoko che books with the pictures of their players there embossed on the books. Na mo chess anyoma na at least
you need a grand plan and these will be subsets of that grand plan.
Absolutely.
If you don't work on the grand plan, say yenkra who as I say we'll start everything by maybe doing a SWOT. So who are we?
Of course,
because you've got to analyze the situation and know where you are. And then what you've been doing, that's not been working. What you've been doing, that's working. And what you can do to. These clubs don't do that.
Because first of all, no, at the end, there's no reference document.
And so build it. Build it. You may not have a reference, but you can build it here. And I say not because Aminu is here, because I have witnessed Aminu grow over the period. Fantastic guy, smart. He's grown, the experience. I mean, I admire him so much. But how many of Aminu Shadow na yewo?
System.
And I also know how impactful is Aminu in that cog? How impactful is he in a cog with other with all of these other people? Intino bibia yen crofo nipa na twi na nipa no omo ya de no ye adwen ye mindset no any say ye ready say ye be ye niama ni because ye ni ye a afa ma ye nyina but I say ye mpesi ye be ni ye because people reign in chaos. You know, it's also a Roman Empire strategy. You generate the chaos. I say your politicians will Ghana. Forgive me, but your politicians, whether they are parliamentarians, executive, we create the mess, the chaos, and then we reign in the chaos. Somebody's chopping.
Absolutely. Everywhere you see chaos, somebody's benefiting from it.
Because this
look at the level of discipline of trotro drivers. The police is benefiting.
Police for
any DPR2
you know this juju thing I'm talking somebody is benefiting because ono kwako this kanu e dey kwako ma juju man
on say national security budget inverted juju budget inverted
where's the means budget
operations budget inverted reference account say san kan o ye ni enti no somebody no when trade the referee DTI dia e bo as kana dey
unim bibi enti why would somebody say that yen jai sadi we na yen fan tua players ka yen jai sadi we yen fan to more cameras na it mean dey try yen games yen jai sadi yen on die because sika na money bottom biem enti so nya ko no ukoka wo ya minu na ukoka committee meeting bia obeka tell say masa usamo anamafo ni o ma fa mba hasi. So I think that
obviously football in your school school about football 3 points.
Alaji Grusa voice okay support Dr. Fun Dr. Tantai had our doctor
obviously in your school and football in your bro
Sadie we are driving away important people like that. And what to say doc Sebi look, he's covered the game as a journalist. He's grown through the ranks. Say ene club bia ba be fan say on consult mo na say onye aduma mo. Eti kenye fe. But
almost say cabrofo, almost say
the umbeka say we too no and na there. Well, it's the same thing. Look, Herbert Mensah came to this system.
The system accepted them.
But every time I make sure young people be an opportunity to advise them. I had opportunity to visit the past president, sometime last year, and it was through Azakes ladies. So I wrote as caption, say, when opportunities come, grab it. Don't look at the financial benefits.
Oh yes.
Because some of these opportunities may not come with financial benefits, but the doors they will open for you.
I have no idea.
So also the reverse is also true. That if you have some talent as a young person, as a club approach, you say, don't look only at the financial benefits.
True.
But also look at what you're also going to contribute. Of
course.
The first time I dreamed about Aminu Shadow, he was writing, he was making some money. You could have said, there'll be me in court. But I also can say, because he's my friend, maybe what do is true football in association with dreams.
Let me go from dreams or call Galka and all these.
So team manager for the Blasters and then Bini Saba. Just the minister soon to and they hammy.
And minister and the information on to answer the any dream or side no cry.
I mean call you came to see na in komo yi.
And pass the mic no me
Le meilleur, Happy Sports supérieur, Happy Sports exceptionnel, Happy Sports numéro 1.
Abdul Zakaria the United Kingdom, but before Obetu Kwan no na a ban say yenye interdigesis ma teams are he skates the likes of Liberty, the likes of Dreams FC, Ediana Maniac. He's the CEO of Maniac Designs. Zakaria, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
sorry sir, me wa gyina so ache na conversation here very interesting in the studio. Yemre also, I'm sure we will even get you next week to even throw more light on the AD because Mr. Time also no and so. But in a nutshell, what our clubs can do to get fans, back to our stadium in terms of the marketing perspective. What some of the strategies I want to implement here, you bring your fans back into our venues.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Good morning once again. One or two bits idea Misumi here in Ghana football circles. Well, I think first and foremost, one thing I say in United States, usually in opinion for the Mukasa, oh, back then we call your stadium Kotokone has a boa and any club a boa. The stadium was packed to the rafters, which was quite true. But I didn't say in opinion for any or more we are born. Say, okay?
Yeah.
Say no. What do you mean?
It's Ungapa Abdul.
Say no. Born there, assassin. Because a born answer, fan no very sophisticated. Say fan in good football, no need bad football. What you say? Because your avenues be brave. The share boss say. What you say? What our clubs need to do is they have to be cautious, very well cautious as to how a bit many fans and back into the stadium. My more typical example, example. You ever say you beat Nima or support to Accra, right? And also support Chelsea. Saturday, be fans Chelsea ni Arsenal airborne. And a crowd of focus on your fans between also airborne at the same time over stadium. Time on the game time for Chelsea and Arsenal ABS started around 3 p.m.
Yeah.
A crowd of focus would started around maybe 3 p.m. at the same time. But ABS was sorry or a fun all right. But Sika only United cities. Example na name. Sika only United cities. Now, let's show some more. Me share Arsenal and Chelsea crowd must spend the crowd 2 cities and 3 cities. Many 7 cities there. It was so. But okay,
yeah.
I don't have to stress myself like now just look at it this way. Oh yeah, across book fans. So of course I'll call if it's a stadium or Onika. Yes, of course station. A cover car. Number one, Odua or Kotama station. Odu Tema station so. Yes, or Fadia. Yes, or Nanti Tema station. You call stadium. Now, what are all that example I mean is because the reason I name my example is because at this point, what we need to do is we have to make the game closer to the fan. Because anything in between, better than I say inconvenience, fans on cost.
Oh ma.
And in the long run, it's not as if the ball is the best Chelsea. So what?
Abdul, where the Fatchame, but we need to come to you again. Probably on Monday, so we continue this conversation from the marketing perspective and how to get people into the stadium. My news for now, me call say on time soon. Indeed, a team from Fanche, we will visit this one. We'll continue on Monday on finding solutions to the inability of our fans to go to the stadium. Abdul, Fatchame, please make time for me on Monday. I'll come to you so we do this again. Fatchame pa.
All right,
yeah. Etifo, Fanchame, me say I want for sending messages, Papa. I mean, it's been a very interesting conversation. ML Smith and student there about life on Facebook. Good morning, Ohene. On the main, I was in Never Again. John Blackman, good morning, watching your life inside Pig Farm. A lot of messages in air, but my main first, I guess, my panelists, I'm joining me on a paying. Doctor and a Scranton. Mommy, a year, no, say, 17 to 1. Oba Penny, okay. Friday,
in
a week. Yes. You have jamo, pa. Doctor, Mami, continue gunti osi kujano na usi ni mame. Kama. So keep course kwano so. Keep kwano so. Pedu Junction.
15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm in the shadow and so be kind. So I don't want to join your life on your phone and I just go for your so be kind. So mama tea, we continue the conversation again on Monday. Thank you very much. Makramo.